everyone. Thank you so much for hanging with us and for sitting tight as we got everything ironed out. Had to get everybody here, everyone that still loves us anyway, and had to get the stream software sorted out. That crashed on me a little bit earlier, so sorry about that, but I'm glad that you guys are here, and I hope you're excited for some more Expanse. We have quite the interesting session prepared for you tonight, featuring some timey-wimey fun stuff and some skipping around, and I don't think any too crazy announcements either. So it'll be something to watch. So thanks for being here, and without further ado, Monsieur Brendan. Mr. Who? What now? No, we have not. Let me patch you through here. Say something.
I'm saying something.
Yeah, we have not
Llama.
Official announcement for Nicholas.
Well, do you wanna?
Sure. Yeah, so like every great D&D group, eventually people have to make changes in their lives and have to sort of cut down on the hobby a bit. And so Nick has acquired a new source of employment, and due to his change in schedule and their inflexibility, Nick is going to have to depart, I think, all the games? Or he's like it's kind of, it's a little up in the air. He'll be around this upcoming Tuesday and the Tuesday after next, but then his schedule kind of flips around again, where he'll be off on Thursday. So I'm not entirely certain what it is we're gonna do. I don't know if his schedule will ever stabilize to be flat and even. If it does, he's certainly, of course, as always, welcome to come back to any of the games, I assume, where he'll have to take short absences. And if his schedule is just too chaotic to make any of our games work, then we won't be able to play with him anymore. But hopefully one day he'll come back.
So yeah, he is in flux at the moment, but we will try to grab him in as much as we can, but not looking great at the moment, which, you know, these things happen. When we're playing Dungeons and Dragons for years on end, stuff changes. It's sad for us, but, you know, you can never really be angry at somebody for trying to better their lives, and if that means hobbies and things need to be put by the wayside, you know, we have no right to complain.
That's the good thing about D&D and the good thing about friendships. As long as you're still friends, you can always play more D&D.
Yeah. But that is the state of things. So far, the Expanse down 2 of its members now, as it's coming into the final stretch. We will see how that affects the world and the rest of the players, and how the adventures continue.
What are we gonna do without our fucking 20th level wizard, guys? It's fucking awful. It's so bad.
Oh shit, that's right.
As I was writing the recap, I was thinking about that, because there's so many things Tobin did to help us.
Oh no, Maze. Oh no, the second wish spell. Oh, the enchanter.
More like the first
We
wish spell.
need to
let's
go
be
find
honest.
them.
Because Ryan's not casting wish.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Not for free.
Alrighty. So, with that said, heavy in our hearts, we are coming back into the game after a little bit of planning has gone into a battle against the forces of Mishasa and the forces of the followers of Tyr. With the aid of the Outriders, seems like the forces of Tyr came out on top, even though they were vastly outnumbered. Not unscathed, but able to still stand at the end of the day. And our party's plan has come to fruition, setting up the schemes of some of them and the more straightforward methods of others, as right now like Jordan mentioned, we're having a little bit of a weird thing. Not so much of a downtime, more of like a montage of sorts, where there's something that happens here pertaining to Ivar, which we're going to play out to see how it happens. And then we have some actual downtime stuff we'll go over. But for now, who just wants to give me a recap of what happened last time around?
Well, let's see what happened last time. So, when last we left our heroes, they'd finally heard the breath of Ivar's plan for usurping Mishasa. Utilizing subterfuge and betrayal, Ivar and Laura would appear to be loyal to the Fiend of the Pins. The remainder of the Outriders was to betray Ivar and Laura and fight for the Knights of Tyr in the battle between them and the executioners of Mishasa. They were to defeat the head general while Ivar would kill General Jade Hawthorne. The Older had the stipulations that Ivar would not allow any defilement to her person after death, and that he would provide the materials for her to call her soul back to this realm. With assurances that he'd uphold that, she departed thanks to Toman's magic to the land of the Jinn, which after a few words through grit teeth, Badran submitted his will to that of Hephaestus, binding him in service to Yolder and Farida. Lannister managed to gather a bit more information from Ramla about the elemental plane of Earth, and it was seeming more and more likely the Outriders would venture there when they had time. Toman spent some time researching creatures of legend and the few good dragons the Jinn had encountered in their time in Omnia, while Laura schemed behind the shadows, leaving the group for a time to put things beyond any of their knowledge into motion. It was after this was done that the somber flight of the Sky Yacht began, moving to meet up with the head general of the executioners and preparing for their inevitable separation. It was at this point the Outriders were all in on their ruse working. As the forces of Tyr and the fiend-enamored brutes of Mishasa clashed on the field of battle, the Outriders found a heavily contested skirmish to intervene in. Deploying as quickly as they could and preparing to turn blade, bullet, and spell against their allies, Ivar, via telepathic link provided by Toman, gave the word for their heroic display of valor against the forces of evil. A force Ivar and Laura would appear to stay loyal to. The shock of what was presumed to be reinforcements turning against them, the sight of a god, a saint, an archmage, a dragon-made man, and an artificing legend being on your side, rallying the forces of Tyr and shaking the confidence of the executioners as they were quickly dispatched. Laura and Ivar making a swift retreat to confront General Jade on Ivar's Pegasus. While the Outriders returned to the Sky Yacht to aid Tyr's forces and locate the head general. As Ivar and Laura landed amongst the command tents of General Jade, they made their way into her quarters to demand she martyr herself for the plans they put into action. Laura, disguised as Lannister with a faux gauntlet of Torm, tried to persuade the paladin at Jade's side this was a needed sacrifice. They would not be swayed by words alone, and it was only through Laura's trickery and bewitchment that they were able to get Jade to submit to Ivar's blade. With her dead in his arms, they quickly departed from the camp of Tyr's knights under a barrage of blade and arrow. Meanwhile, on the Sky Yacht, as they searched for where they could be most effective, they saw a cave from which the executioners were re-emerging. A hard fight they had seen going into this conflict, and one they had chosen not to intervene in. The Knights of Tyr had been outmatched, and the victors were treating the defeated with barbarous cruelty. Some simply hung their heads in silent regret, others in the group seemed almost unfazed. The Older, however, was incensed. She could not be everywhere at once, and all around her, dozens of good men were dying for a fight that was, from the start, beyond them. Hephaestus guided her and blessed her, but he could not comfort her from the cost of war. She would have to temper herself to it. So with every ounce of strength and will, she had poured her emotions like molten metal into the energies of her halo, pulling the stored energy from her staff and bearing the load of what felt like the sun itself upon her head before unleashing it upon the mountainside. where Mishasa's warriors were eradicated from the earth in a blinding pillar of light. From there, they found the forces of the head general riding in earnest towards the back lines of the Knights of Tyr, perhaps to clash directly with their hard leadership forces. Though winded at her expenditure, Yolder ordered Asham-Ka after them and to prepare the bomb bays beneath the sky yacht. As the head general's forces clashed with the remainder of the Knights of Tyr's protectorate, devastating them beneath spell bombardment and swift blade, the sky yacht dipped low over the head general's forces before emptying one of her bays to magnificent effect. His forces shocked, and the Outriders quickly deploying into combat against them with the aid of Toman's magic. They now had a true fight on their hands, rather than the slaughter they were so used to. The Outriders, at almost full strength, made quick work of the head general's forces, though they did not go down without a fight. Soon the sulfur-belching fiend beneath the dark armor made his true form known. The head general was a fiend of the pits of the Nine, a truly powerful foe. But today, he faced a party of truly extraordinary heroes, and against all evil the Outriders would prevail. As he desperately flew to threaten Asham-Ka, he was brought low by the Outriders and burst into flame and ash, defeated and sent screaming into the hells where he belongs. With the battle turned in Tyr's favor, but Jade dead and gone with Ivar and Laura, it seemed the battle was a Pyrrhic victory at best. But the world is just darkest before the dawn.
Indeed. Good shit. Get yourself some inspiration if you don't already have it. That was awesome.
I try my best.
As indeed the forces of Mishasa routed quite terribly after a few battles waged. The initial clash, horrible and destructive power against the Knights of Tyr, but with the help of the party, after Ivar and Laura fled, it seemed like, well, the battle started to shift the other way, and after an hour or so of harsh fighting, it came to an end. Both sides retreating. The Knights of Tyr mending their wounds, keeping as many as they can of their people alive as Mishasa's forces fled back to their cities, back to the border of Mishasa's pens, bloodied, and now without a general. After this point, things started to move quickly. Some of the party members having their own, machinations in mind going forward. Own personal little plots, or creations, tinkering, or army raising even, had to be done, while Ivar and Laura were off on their own little task, infiltrating the inside of Mishasa's inner circle, and it went quite well. Laura, with her silver tongue and her ways of masking certain elements, did her best to try to assure Mishasa of Ivar's loyalty, and Ivar, man of few words, well, it didn't really matter, as he returned the head of the enemy general, and with seemed like devotion to even fight against his former comrades. It's hard to tell if Mishasa truly trusts them or not, but at least they were not executed immediately. And that first battle won was the turning point. After that, a week goes by, and news starts to spread of the forces of Tyr finally winning out against Mishasa, where so many have failed before. There's countless tales of the people of the Holy Lands marching against Mishasa because of some slight against humanity. Mishasa known to play loose with the lives of others, insulting the Holy Lands to their faces. But in most conflicts, it was Mishasa that came out on top. And with this change of the winds, fires started to be lit. Here and there, throughout Mishasa's pens, throughout her nation, throughout the cities, and throughout the hearts of the people that live within, as Mishasa's pens is not a pleasant place. It is built on the back of those forced into servitude. The pens are exactly that. meant to shackle and cage people, brought there for the enjoyment of those with riches and power, but so many wished for this place to be overturned. So much blood has been spilled, and with the news of victory, the blood started to spill on the other side. And so at this point, 2 weeks have passed since that original battle. Some of the party members have gone off on their own ventures for a bit, planning to return, some already returning, and some throwing themselves headfirst into the efforts being put forward by the Holy Lands, and now it even looks like many of the rebels that seeming to be under the guidance of Hana, at least in part. The Goliath woman that Ivar met, the one that seemed to be so closely tied with the people that want to turn this place upside down. And then there are others even. Kudo's coin, and even Sazamin's tables, sending people looking for the opportunity, seeing that one of the 4 trade princes is being weakened. Well, they're not one to let such a thing pass by. And as with each coming day, more people are turned, more people rise up, more chains are broken, more towns and cities led and controlled by the executioners, freed or laid to waste. And it's this point, 2 weeks in, Ivar. Within the Blood Claw circles, where Mishasa has been staying for a while now, you're given a message. Mishasa is wanting to meet with you. You and Lara. She has business to discuss. And you would not miss it.
It's time.
As you're given instructions to meet within that great dining hall that you've met her many times over this last 2 weeks, where you've been given orders of such, where you have been questioned, where her prying eyes and words have tempted. But thankfully, every time Laura was there with you to give a comforting word, to change the subject, to meander the conversation in a way that, well, at the end of the day, you haven't been found out yet. At least you hope. As you enter into that dining hall, and you notice it is relatively empty, except for those armored individuals. You know their true natures, constructs, almost mindless, still guarding, but everyone else alive is gone. Strangely silent hall, with Mishasa standing, rising above you on a little lift where she was before, with her armored knight by her side. She sees you and beckons you forward. Come, Ivar. Please.
Taking slow strides.
Lar walking right behind you in step.
Put my right hand over my heart and kneel on one knee. Yes, heavy-handed mission.
Thank you for coming in such haste. I'm sure you are aware, Ivar, this horrible little situation we find ourselves in. Every passing day, it seems like more of the cattle find themselves running amok within the streets. And strangely enough, even through our efforts, even through my friend's efforts here, it seems like nothing is quite right. Strange, don't you think? It's not unheard of for people such as this to get impatient and want to break their chains and strike out against their captors. But, well, this hasn't happened in quite a while. Where so many of them go uncaptured once they are free. Where so many of our troops find themselves in different places. Where they should be. I did not give you authority because I did not trust you, Ivar. I handed it off to a dear friend. As you can see, her eyes dart off to the side. And yet, everything has still gone afoul. So, simple enough. Try to find out where it is coming from. Do you think you know where it's coming from, Ivar? This failure given to me.
No doubt from the treachery of my former allies, or some sort of machination they have conjured with the Holy Lands.
Former allies, indeed. As she walks just a step backwards, reaching her arm behind her. As you can see, she grabs a small pile of papers and lists them up. Reports, Ivar, telling of people running amok. In the southern quarters, 50 men apparently breaking their chains and fleeing. And yet, it was in the east. She throws the paper off to one side as it glides to the ground. Here, troops successfully resupplied, in full working order, and yet they starve to death. She throws the paper again. One after another, after another, after another. Such lies put to paper, Ivar. Reports created here, given to me. Lies given to me. I think I understand. And I have to punish myself for not seeing it sooner. But such a whimsical little lass you have by your side, Ivar. As you can see, Laura jut her eyes up.
What are you instigating, Mishasa?
Me? I would ask your friend. A little chuckle comes out of Laura's mouth. That's right, Mishasa. Words. All of your little schemes. All that you own. Everything that you have built. Coming apart at the seams because of pen and paper. It was only a matter of time. I have taken away everything from you. I have stolen your people, and your cities, and your money, and you have nothing
Laura.
left.
What?
It is time, Ivar. It is time to end this creature. Did you really think a servant of the gods would ally herself with a devil? Ivar, there is nothing left protecting her. Kill her now. Strike her down now. Let us end this.
Not you two. Why?
What do you mean? Ivar, this is our chance! This is what I've been working for all this time!
I thought. No. You just manipulated me. Like the others.
If you won't do it, I will force you to. As you can see her bringing up her hands, this purplish mist starting to form around them as she starts to let loose this powerful magic in your direction as this mist starts to swirl up around your face. Give me a wisdom saving.
Oh no.
Didn't expect that.
Wisdom saving.
Darn.
Jesus.
Oh, look at that!
As you can feel your mind start to be twisted, starting to pull your view away from Laura towards Mishasa. But it's strange. There's something in it. Something that is weakened. And you are easily able to push through it. Do it! God, Ivar! Please!
I take my blade and pull it out, point it towards Mishasa. And then, using only one hand, ramming it in Laura's back.
No! As you can see, her form, as she stamps across the ground, her form turning to darkness as she reappears on the far side, horrible gash on her back. No! No! I won't let this! As you can see her hold up her hand again, pointing towards Mishasa. If you won't do it, I will! As you can see, a spectral blade starting to form in front of Mishasa. As you can see, Mishasa just standing with a grin across her face. As the weapon strikes at her and just shatters across her form, reforming on the other side, but having no effect. As she turns her head, looks quizzically at you. Ivar, please! Please! As you can see, fear on Laura's face, noticing that her magic does not work. No! As she turns and takes a step and starts to flee from you.
Grapple her?
You reach out and grab onto her arm. You can feel the weakness of it. This small arm that you could crush in your strength if you wish to, as you grab on.
And again, using the same hand, ramming it, not in the same wound, but just in her lower back. Using my foot, pushing her to the ground and viciously ripping it out.
As you rip the blade out, you can see as Laura now lying on the ground, blood starting to seep out on this already blood-red carpet. You almost don't notice it at first, but as you take a step, you can feel it. Stepping on a damp rug as it comes infused with Laura's blood, as she lays face down, unmoving.
They've all betrayed me. All of them.
Indeed, it would seem. Well, what do you make of this? Well, as you can see, Mishasa starting to walk down these steps. Sight that you've never really seen. She's always kept her distance, always standing above you, and she seems to start walking in your direction, passing by you, stand above body of Laurel.
The more they try to stop me, the more they reveal I'm on the right path.
I will tell you a secret, Ivar. This place, all around you, it's not always been here. But I have. These bricks and mortar may fall, but I will not. I have seen kingdoms fall over and over again. I have had followers and worshippers and subjects longer than most can remember. This place will fall. The subjects freed or killed. True. But it makes little difference. When the time is right, I will return. I will remake my kingdom larger and more powerful than it's ever been. All of this makes little difference. But you are something I have not seen in a very long time. So, I will take another risk. Foolish of me, I know, but, well, I have to say this site has got the blood pulling and pumping in such a way I would love to see you in action some more. And so, I am going to be off. I have something I need to prepare for. But for you, I want for you to ascend those steps. Take up the mantle that my friend over there has worn for the few last weeks. See what hand you have in all of this. I expect one of two outcomes, Ivar. Either I return, and this rebellion is squashed, and the streets are lined with the bodies of those silly followers of Tyr, or I expect them to march upon me with your head on a spike. So, which one do you think you'll be able to accomplish, little Ivar? I do hope to see. Either way, it'll be quite entertaining. Come. She snaps her fingers, and you hear the crunch of metal as the knight starts to walk down the steps behind her. Have it done in a month, will you? Either ended or, well, fight to the last, I suppose. Either way, there is much reaping to be done. As she starts to walk out of the room.
Ooh. Sure, I ascend the steps.
With that, step up onto the steps, as the area seems quiet at first. And then you see the stir in the shadows. Two men walk out, dressed in garb, those for silent movement. As you see, two members of the Fangs, as they look at you, bow their head. Your orders. As you assume command. As time starts to pass once again in Mishasa's pens. The next 2 weeks start to go by as we start to find out what our other heroes have been up to while this scene played out, far away from all of their ongoing. So, what have our party been up to? Let's go through the list. I'm going to go the opposite way this time around. Lannister, after that battle with the soldiers of Tyr, knowing that time will be needed for Lara and Ivar to work their way into the forces of Mishasa to start to tweak it and burn it from the inside, waiting for that word where it is actually time to strike. What have you been up to?
Yeah, I raised an army, and I bought my guild a bunch of weapons and armor, and hung out with a lady from the Golden Spheres, talking about my old soldier Gib. Outside of that, just going around with the army of Tyr kicking some ass.
Nice. And yeah, in your efforts to raise an army for a different conflict, as it seemed like you had them march west.
Mm-hmm.
And in doing so, noticing that something that's been put in motion from so far back with your dealings with good old Day Steam, it seems like the tracks are in place and those blowing clouds of steam now have been seen across the expanse as the railroad has been put in place, stretching far across the western part of the Ironwall Republic and into the expanse, reaching all the way from the walls to Heartclaim, the somewhat adopted home of many of our heroes. As with Cinder and Lannister's visit back home, it seems like there's been quite a bit of work done as a new wall has been constructed, protective towers, as the word has spread to the mayor of the town, and good friend Ryuchi as well, as they've been working hard to try to shore up the defenses, as even after all of this, after all the party's been through, there's still that threat lingering out there. Karseth. That promise that the town of Heartclaim would have until the beginning of the next year, until it is wiped off the face of the map. And so preparations have been done. But for the rest of the party, Yolder, what have you been up?
As always, Yolda has had quite a few plates spinning. She knows the conflict to come, so she has also sent out word for able-bodied soldiers and sellswords and mages and all the like, trying to establish her own army, the Legion of Dawn. But she has pretty strict stipulations for her company, so she's only attracted about a fifth of the total number that she wants to gain, because these people need to be honorable and loyal and not just beholden to coin, but also to their word. In addition to that, she did some research alongside Desmond and, I want to say, Desmond Toman, the Coyle family, and Ashram Ka, just basically going to any resource or knowledge base that she could in an effort to figure out if she could actually enchant cannons. She had magic that would allow her to animate some inanimate objects and make them fight on her behalf, but what she came away with was that her best bet would be to make some sort of cannon golem, which is something that she is still drafting the plans and enchantments for, but has not been quite ironed out. In addition to that, she sold the cannons aboard the Sky Yacht, taking that money to help fund this effort in making enchanted cannons that could shoot things on their own. And she crafted a a base of a suit of armor for herself, one that she plans to enhance later, but for now will just need to be equal to the armor she was already wearing, just making some stylistic changes. And she also drafted her plans for arming and equipping her Legion of Dawn once they are gathered together, trying to figure out what would be the best thing to make for them, and figuring out her, everything that she makes has to be in some way a form of art, so she has to figure out the style and all that stuff, so she spent some time doing that. She wrote a letter after consulting with Hephaestus himself, asking for his permission to, in a sense, bend her vow of reforging, to reach out to a contact from her previous life before she became Lady Yolder of the Iron Lords. Roland Ferrisbeard, the master smith quartermaster from the Iron Wall Republic that trained her in forging and was her commanding officer. She wrote a letter to him trying to explain what happened to her and what she's been through and who she is now, and hopefully, if everything goes well, to meet up sometime in August as she is looking to the Iron Wall Republic to help shore up her forces in the Legion of Dawn. She also received word from the Coil Guild that Aleo, the Silver Dread's construction is complete, and that she is ready for trials and pickup if the ship is light enough to carry it. But she'll most likely need to take the ship over there just so they can make these golems, if that's also possible. All of that said, there was, I think, only one other thing she did once she had some time. She looked at the notes that she worked with Farida on, that she gave a bit of inspiration, a bit of passion and fire to through her long hours with her, and put the shard of living silver that Mishasa gave her, put it into a new form, taking not her own emotions, but also what her very keen insight, even past the plates of black armor and the steely red eyes that burn silently, still insightful enough to see that there is something personal to this, and, well, put vengeance into form.
Yeah, good stuff. All right. And I assume you are... Was there one more thing you wanted to do involving the effort being put into the Mishasa's pin?
Oh yeah, I totally also hop on my cool motorbike and help break out some slaves and stuff, and do that cool thing too. I do the cool Captain America montage. I blow up one of the thingies. I drop my little cool sun pillar nuke on one of them. It's great. It's great. It's a great time.
Yep, joining up with Lannister later on to help free those in prison.
I'll just kill this place, and then this one, and then this one,
Yeah,
and
that's
that
how it
one.
happens in the montage,
And
right?
Yolder helps over here. Yep, she helps over there.
Oh,
Pretty sure
yeah.
that's how it works.
Also, I go back to the plantation, check on it, nuke it again. Good times. It's all fun and games.
The collapsed hole in the ground. You're like, yeah, I'll just blow that up one more time.
I just walk to the edge of the hole, right, and I'll just piss in the hole.
Me and Lannister go to opposite sides of the
Mission
hole,
completed.
grab the earth like it's a bad blanket and just toss it with a few casts of earthquake, and we start tossing the dust out of the earth. It's fine. Don't worry about it. They're all dead.
Yeah, boy. Alright, good stuff. Moving on. Cinder, what have you been up to for the last 2 weeks?
Well, with this war winding up and down, and this revolution winding up and down, there's some outside skirmishes that I did not join them, Lannister and Yolder, in. I kind of went off on my own to. I mean, it's not as much of a benevolent thing that Cinder was doing. It was more of a opportunity to test some of his new abilities from his his darker side, we should say, his patron. He went to kind of smash any resistance or turn the tide when it comes to small resistance of the side that he was fighting. So he would go to places, and maybe he's a dragon that day. He was trying to do things spectacularly and feed off of the fears of the people he was destroying. In that time, he had, with the ability to travel in a blink to anywhere on this plane, decided to check back on Harp Claim and some of his investments there. He noticed happily that the wall he had suggested was starting to be completed around the perimeter, and so when Karsith would approach, they would have some measure of resistance, and I suppose that he'd have seen some of the hirings that Lannister procured. And then he checked in on his business, his mine down deep into the earth with the platinum buildings and such, and collected his dues from the time that he's been away. And that's about the time that he spent.
Yeah. Good stuff. As Cinder, as you've been spending your time, the moments that you were in Mishasa's pens, the revolution taking hold, the people fighting and dying, and every night, dreams would come. And it started to get to a fever pitch. And yet, after every night, you felt somewhat more and more refreshed. You used to have headaches after the contact with that thing, that ache behind your eye, but now it's soothing, like a hum in your ear, nurturing. And you feel something else. A gift bestowed upon you. For being in the center of this horrible din of so many people suffering. What do they dream of when they sleep? Something delicious, I'm sure. And so, maybe a little new evocation brought in about all of this, all the dreams. A key turned, and power unlocked. As you gain gain a new evocation from the Warlock class.
Ooh. Pretty awesome.
Actually, it's an invocation.
Is it invocation?
Yeah.
Evocation? Invocation, there you go.
Nice. During one of these dreams and nightmares, I want to kind of reach out with my mind. Even though I'm in the third person, it seems like in a lot of them, I want to speak out and I want to ask, is this what you wish for me to collect from Karsith? Like this.
You don't get anything for a bit. And then you feel something. You get the visions of the dreams of another. They're blurred and distorted and almost impossible to really tell what's going on. But they are not afraid. They are very much like the feeling of the creature that gave you power. It's the dreams of a creature that is in love with this situation, that is drinking it in, that is in ecstasy because of it. And you feel, behind your eye, even in the dream, displeasure, frustration. This creature, this one that loves this turmoil, this is the one that your new partner wants to know of its pain. They want this creature to have nightmares. And it would take even more for Karseth. So take this as a test.
All right.
Alrighty. Last but not least, Desmond, what have you been up to the last 2 weeks or so?
Well, I went back to the guild to oversee a few things. Like we saw the finalization of Yildir's layout. We saw the completion of what is ultimately going to be the husks to occupy the soldiers, although we haven't found a method yet to stick them in there. I took some time to do some upgrades to Freddy, so he's a bit stronger now, and it's pretty much been it. I think you said I received a letter.
Yeah, you received a letter a while ago from the one that apparently your cousin had dealing with, and at this point, you've come to the realization. The symbol that was implanted on the letter, those crossed hands, could only be one person. It's quite obvious that Mishasa herself was the client of your cousin, proven even more by you seeing the constructs that she is using. And also, Desmond, your mic sounds really bad.
Oh, sorry.
I don't know, like on your phone or something.
This is why I've been off my machine. Just my machine's been giving me problems with the audio.
And then last but not least, our good friend Toman. He's been doing a couple different things. First off, after helping Yildir with the somewhat redemption of Badran, one of the leaders of the Fire Djinn, he showed interest in wanting to study more. He looked into, like Yildir said in the recap, into dragons and into other creatures of the land that he could draw inspiration and power from, as he's gained the magic to transform into these beasts. But he was also looking into something else. He had interest in the divine, and something he tried once before, tried to contact the plane of the gods. Mistra, specifically, or Ayun specifically, I guess it was, and being unable to give the aid of Ashim Ka on the airship, as it seems like her knowledge has been locked away, he also decided he wanted to do a little bit more. Taking time at the kingdoms of the Jinn, the earth and the water and fire, spending a few days there, and then finally requesting that Ashim Ka take him down back to the Holy Lands, to a place he hasn't been before, to the Towers of Ogma, where he said he would try to research the divine. He thinks he's gotten close to contacting them, but there's still something, and something he's sure he can figure out. He just needs time, so he'll join up with the party once he's done. Shouldn't take more than a couple days, maybe a week. But as a week passes, you hear updates from him. Toman has the magic now to communicate with almost any of you through a long distance, and every so often he would check in, saying that he's still researching, looking into things. But after 2 weeks, 3 weeks pass, you stop hearing anything from him. 3 weeks in a day, 3 weeks in 2 days. No daily check-in. No word from him. And if you use your magic, the magic of sending, to try to find him first, nothing. Nothing connects. It's as if he's just gone. And then Desmond, when everything is at such a fevered pace, as the revolution is coming to a head, as cities burn, and the soldiers of Tyr march in the streets of Mishasa's pens, you hear something. The worry breaks for just a moment, as you hear the voice of Toman in your head. Desmond, you won't believe where I am. Don't worry, it'll take me a bit to get back. I'm fine. I'm fine. You know me. I'm fine. Just go kill your little devil. It's whatever. I'll be back. And then the voice is gone again.
I just call out to him a few more times, but I guess I get no response.
You hear nothing else.
Okay, well, I immobilize both guilds, and I tell everybody to drop what the fuck they're doing. We gotta go look for Toman. I don't know what the fuck this dragon dude.
We're going on an
I
adventure!
like what you did, but at the same time, that is so reasonable.
The search for Toman.
It's okay. That's how we'll get the God Door arc. That's how he's forcing it together. It's the only arc he actually wants us to do, and we're like, nah, we'll do it later. It's like, you know what? All right, I got you, fuckers. I'm gonna throw Toman behind this door, and now you have to go do it.
Oh, we'll go do it. Knock, knock, mother truckers.
As a few days after that, you all start to hear word. The blood claw circles have fallen. But Mishasa is nowhere to be seen. Another day passes, and then you're contacted by a large Goliath woman. We know where she is. You need to go get Ivar, Laura, everyone. We're sending troops, but they will need you. There's a fort southeast of the circles. There's an army standing there waiting, but we will lay siege. We will hunt her down. A revolution is all but won. But there is one final battle. As Ivar, as the blood claw circles fall all around you, it seems like your job is done. And a figure walks out of the darkness. But it's not the ones you're used to. Not the ones that have been asking for reports over the last few weeks. It's an old man with regal features. A man that greeted you once before outside the arena in the blood claw circles. The one that wished you good luck. An agent of the Resistance. And he told you the time was now. Meet back up with your friends. The fort to the southeast. The hunt begins.
Can I insight check that?
Sure.
Because, it wouldn't be beyond Ivar to be a bit suspicious. No.
I knew that was gonna happen. I knew it. The second you said that, I was like, you're gonna roll on that one, and you're gonna be like, alright, buddy, good time, friend of the Resistance.
This elderly man, somewhat stone-faced, serious in his nature, but you know you are standing within the ruins of this city. There is nothing else here to even lead. The forces, executioners, and fangs alike have been stretched so thin that they are basically worthless, much to obviously your own efforts. And you know, from that day, where the blood of Lore ran down your blade, it was all put in motion for this time. And when you went back to look upon her body, maybe to bury her, or take care of it so she did not simply lay on the floor, after about 2 hours had passed, after the orders were given and the fangs dispersed, once you finally had a moment to yourself, you noticed she was gone. Where you placed her, no longer there. And you know, all her efforts surely were not in vain.
Clever girl. I will be so audacious as to say, prepare for my return. We will rebuild former Mishasa's pins from the ground up.
The elderly gentleman just nods his head. Your allies await.
Snap my fingers and summon Armageddon.
As you fly outwards towards the southeast, you start to see a dot in the sky. Something you haven't seen for a while now, for almost a month. Sky yacht. Seem to be heading in the same direction. As we will come back after this little montage, this trip through different perspectives, as our heroes advance to a fort southeast of the circles, where apparently the last remaining of Mishasa's forces have gathered. What will they find there? We will find out after a break, as I need to go to the bathroom. Be back!
Sometimes you have to pee.
Let's take this quick moment.
Hey, fans of the Expanse. Jordan's got an announcement for you.
Excellent introduction.
Did you know that you can subscribe for free with Twitch Prime by hooking up your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch?
Indeed.
Get a 1-1 free subscription to support the channel.
Remember, kids, Cinder says Fireball whiskey is good for you. Be right back.
I'm pretty sure
Possibly.
non-alcoholics call that cinnamon.
Are you not able to drink Fireball whiskey? Do you not particularly enjoy alcohol, but still love the rush of blood through your veins due to other stimulants? Well, have I got
Like
one
heroin?
for you? No, not heroin. Artisan Coffee. Artisan Coffee is a small batch coffee company that makes excellent flavored blends of coffee like maple bacon and cookies and cream, French vanilla, strawberry shortcake, and even if you're really, really tired, they got this super cool caffeine boost coffee that takes you even further beyond your limits so you can stay up all day, every day, 24 hours, do 13 sessions in a single day. It's fine. You can DM 12 games at once. With Artisan Coffee, anything's possible. Using promo code LION10 will get you a nifty, swifty discount that you can use on that website right there. There's a plug-in in the chat. Check it out. Oh god, it posted 2 of them.
Hot diggity dog.
Artisan Coffee, sponsoring Lionhead Gaming and all of its wonderful content. Give them a look, give them a try. I absolutely love them, and I think you will too.
They're adorable.
And like Peter said, if you have not yet, you can connect your Amazon Prime to Twitch and get a free subscription to any one channel on Twitch using Twitch Prime. I would certainly be honored if you were to use your subscription here with Lionhead Gaming. Every subscription and donation and bit contribution goes to furthering our efforts here to bring you guys the most entertaining game that we can, and just, get like books and stuff on Roll20 and tokens and maps and all that good stuff. I make sure to share the love as much as possible with all my wonderful DMs as I contemplate getting this fucker a pro subscription so we can use APIs and stop fucking having to click things, you butt. So, you know.
APIs are scary.
APIs are fine. They're half of them are literally just built into Roll20 itself, where there's like a drop down and you
That's
can
true.
just click it and it plugs it.
That's
right
true.
in, and it's literally no effort.
It's true.
It's only like when you get into like a sketch.
Even Lannister can use
Yeah,
them.
even John can fucking
Oh my-
use APIs, and he's like, tripping over the ruler tool and shit.
Yeah.
As long as you don't use this map anymore, you know, just APIs.
Yeah.
I love this map.
That's
What are you
true.
talking about? This is like-
APIs. I remember what they did to our games. They make it slow.
oh yeah,
They
yeah,
do
yeah.
get a little
Don't-
slow,
don't-
but-
don't-
Hey, remember the hyper?
Oh yeah, wait till you see the next map.
That's true.
What's it called?
But remember, there's also D&D on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7:30 p.m. at the fake time Eastern, not the true natural time or Central time, but 7:30
time travel.
Eastern time for those that are on the weird time zone.
I mean,
Yeah.
the nation's capital is on the Eastern time, and that
So is everything else. Stock exchange and everything else.
The right time.
Mhm.
And it's
But
great. The other
Grand Canyon
games,
isn't, so
the other games are great other flavors
That
of
hole in the
D&D.
ground.
It's all 5th edition, but this game you've got crazy high-end level stuff. We've got Thursday games, which is crazy emotional hard beats in our characters. Lots of drama involved, weird
drama.
stuff going, super drama-y.
Yep.
And then Tuesday, you've
Yep.
got some great
it's a
fucking
shit show.
just heroic romping of fighting monsters and fucking saving the day, saving princesses. It's
Hey,
great.
It's all new, and you get to start from the beginning with them and grow with them like we do.
Yeah.
A lot of people come into
That's
something
true.
like this, and it's epic, but they're like, "Well, I missed the beginning."
That's
Come
right.
On Tuesdays to see the beginning.
Yeah, Tuesday. Get in early. Be
Yeah, I think
part of
we're
the
only on
crowd.
episode like 7.
Yeah.
Or 10. Or 12.
If you heard me
100.
mention all that stuff in today's game that you don't know what I was talking about, like who the fuck is Daraday Steam or the mayor of Heartclaim, what the fuck even is Heartclaim? We haven't been there in 6 months. Well, that's because this game's a year and a half old, so...
Go there and get money.
yes.
Oh, that's where the whole game's gonna culminate at the apex of it.
Yep. So it's cool to get in early and also cool to see the big ending of campaigns. But I'd wholeheartedly give out the advice to go check out those other games. They're different flavors. Same crew, but we get to play a different type of people, which is always... Enough of that. I think we've wasted enough time. Is everybody
All
back
right,
and ready?
Time's up. Let's do this.
I don't have a
Oh,
Ryan
God,
camera.
Hold on. Because we're ending this break here. Make Your Authority keyboard wants to know, because he's been watching the Expanse VODs when he can, what happened to Quark?
Oh, that is a great question. So,
Oh yeah, what did happen to
what is
Quark?
he doing?
Quark is
Yeah, what happened
somewhere
to
in the
Quark?
Trade Prince Bazaar. Do we know where? No.
Well, then how did these
But we
revolutions?
we do know he's making profit. That's all we know.
Nope. Cork is
So-
alive,
I-
happy somewhere, but
Yeah.
I should seek him out to like get my finger in the.
He
mic
actually
with
he
that.
actually opened a bar with his brother in a very distant place, like Deep Cavern 9. So check it out.
but in all seriousness, I'm sort of spoilers if you're watching the VODs, but Quark was a change of character. It was the character that Lannister started the campaign with, but he switched out. So there was no drama or anything involved there. We didn't kick John out or we hated his character or anything, but he did switch out character.
Sometimes it's just not for you. You want to switch characters. New
Aw.
class.
That's true. But I will tell you this: at some point, John will play a bard again, and it will make Jordan extremely pissed off. But it's going to be glorious.
I mean,
Thanks, Make Your Authority. I love it. I love the love.
Yeah, I don't know about it. I'd be scared to go watch those old ones now.
oh, yeah. So
Yeah, I don't want to think about that. I don't want to
But they're
think.
pretty much just trash. They're trash.
Yeah, we've
Well.
grown. We've gone far in like 2 years. Good job, us. Good job.
Yeah. All right, and with all that saying, all the love shared, getting back as we come to the group. Most of you have regathered, hearing the words spread out, getting your own stuff done, returning back to sort of the base camp of where the Knights of Tyr have been set out. And one at a time, you've been able to regather, gathering up on the sky yacht once again, and heading off towards this castle, where you also see a blip in the sky as you see the flapping wings of a darkened steed, as it seems like Ivar quickly approaches.
Right, I think Ivar's coming.
Oh, fight me.
Ready the
Grr.
minions! Autocannons, lock on! Set phasers to
Wait,
kill.
is
And then
Ivar
I
on
start
team
flapping
again?
my
How-
wings. I start flapping my arms, and then I just fall without the Pegasus. You can't shoot down my Pegasus and just keep flying at it.
Gravity tries its best to move you, but
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you can't.
Too scared. Gravity's too scared to
How
move
far,
me down.
How far out is he?
I mean, you see him 500 feet out or so, or 1,000 feet out, whenever you sort of notice him, as he's approaching rather quickly, as Steed is a quick one. Something you want to do to him? Shoot him.
Shoot me out of the sky, and then just not have Ivar for the final fight.
Is today the day of the fight?
I mean, it seems like your ship is
We
quick,
get
and
one.
you will be at the wherever the fort is. You don't see it quite yet, but where they showed it on a map, you should be there in the next hour.
Okay,
Where's
so
Laura?
I do not cast sending.
Wait, hey, where's Laura? You see Laura with him?
I don't see Laura with him. Maybe he's kind of far away. Maybe she's just behind him. I would reach
Oh,
out
yeah,
with
just
magic,
bring it up.
but-
Oh, that's right.
So,
Wait,
or you
Cinder,
can
did you
swoop
ever
it in.
name this little bastard?
he doesn't need a name. If you want to know his name, ask him.
Hey, what's your name? That's a good name. Like it.
Isn't it?
I'm cars have
Give it a
suckers.
name, and it was more of an insult than a gift.
I pick up all of Desmond's organs and shove them back into him.
Now, why are you about to die, Desmond? Get your health.
I guess I probably had a short rest in the last 2 weeks.
Oh,
Hopefully.
You sounded pretty good there. Desmond, how are you doing this morning?
A little groggily. Haven't had my coffee yet.
Oh, here, have some whiskey.
Oh God. Good. Thank you.
So, Ivar, you see most of the party out on the deck as you come swoop.
Go.
Man, look at these cool catapult cannons.
No, none of this is here. It's just bare deck right now.
Yeah, no cannon.
There's nothing on the deck. It's like
Just flying.
boxes.
Oh, just remove it. Just nuke it off. Just remove the ship. There is none. So far, flies up over the ship and descends.
Welcome
Whoa.
back, Ivar. Mishasa. Or Mishasa. Mishashim Ka turns.
Oh, shit,
Thank
she's
you.
here!
It's like the
She's
third time
here.
I've done that.
Ha! Ha! I always knew it, Oshim Ka.
Yeah, well,
At last.
yeah, that
It
reveal
was
was
her the whole time!
seen a mile away.
No wonder she knows.
No wonder she
Wait,
knew
oh.
our first names. Grr.
Ivar, where's Laura?
Hiding.
Oh,
Hiding.
What?
This
What?
is like a...
Where? Why?
I would have
Oh, she's
an
gonna
insight
she's gonna
check
pop out right where we need her.
No.
Where is Jade?
She's waiting.
Ivar, can you be
Oh, yeah,
sure
where's
that
the
no one
freaking
knows you're here?
Blood claws. Burning.
And is Mishasa slain?
Cinder, that's what we're riding out to do.
Oh. Then let's go slay Mishasa.
We're still about an hour out. As I kind of just like look over through the windows, what's the weather look like for today?
It is sort of. It's actually somewhat chilly, strangely enough. It's overcast, but there's a strange, dull gray to the scenery. The clouds are large and thick and blocking the sun quite substantially, as even though it's the middle of summer, it seems like there's a brisk, chilly air. It's somewhat strange.
Are you all able to toughen yourselves for a greater cold than this?
Well, this isn't cold. I mean, I know what cold is, and this isn't cold. I could wear just a tunic.
Yes?
Can you raise our altitude significantly? I want to come
Of course.
in from a higher approach.
Of course. She walks back over to the large control orb and starts to pull it back as the ship starts to descend up into the sky. As you can see, off in the distance, what looks like almost a mountain rising up before.
So you said Laura is hiding. What is the situation with Jade?
Her body is safe.
You had it interred in the blood circles.
What was the question?
You have it interred in the blood cloth circle.
What does interred mean?
That means it's buried.
Okay. Yes.
Wait, Desmond, where's Tillman?
I look back at you and then I just look off into the edge of the boat.
The older just kind of shoots you
I don't think he hit.
like a fucking death glare, and then just kind of steps over to Desmond and like puts a
And
single...
shoves him over.
Just grabs him by the neck and hovers him over the side.
I look back at Jolder's eyes and I quietly say with my lips, "Thank you."
I give him a death glare and just come over to you and just put a single gauntlet on your shoulder. Lannister, I told you, you have to lay off of the absinthe and moonshine. It affects your memory.
What? Well, where is he?
He has departed this plane in his efforts to research the gods and magic beyond our understanding. We do not know where he is, just that he is not with us. His absence tears at Desmond, you know this. Hopefully he will return to us.
Holy shit! I think I need to. Yoda, I think I need to stop drinking.
I tried to warn you about
I don't
this.
remember any of that. Well, can we go get him after this though? Like, can we go find him after this?
It would be, I think, in our best interest to do so, yes, but...
We have to know where he's at.
Capable,
How long will that take?
These are all unknowns. I can only pray that if he is pursuing the gods, that they will keep an eye out for him. And if it is seen fit, he will be able to reach out to Desmond again to guide us to him.
If he does, ask where he's at. 'Cause if I know where he's at, I can get us there, but...
That's true. Maybe after we go kill this fucking demon bitch, like maybe we try sending or something, or like what's that one where like you look at him, scribbling? No, fuck, skying.
I have attempted to beseech the gift of scrying. Laura left her crystal ball in the wreckage of her room, and it is simply fog. I try to reach out to him with my mind, a divine message, and I get no answer. And if I try it too often, it almost begins to hurt my head. I do not know where he is. Just that he is beyond our reach for the time being. We have to clear our
Well,
heads of
maybe.
this and focus on the matters at hand.
She's right. Tobin wouldn't want us to waste time on this. Let's get back to what Ivor was saying.
Right, Ivar, where is she? Let's go kill this bitch.
They didn't tell you. They just send you off in a direction. Or were you drunk and not listening?
No, she's like somewhere up here or something.
She's in a fort. Heavily guarded, apparently.
So are we gonna just raise the fort?
Or was that
Yeah,
their
yeah.
army that surrounded the fort?
It seemed like reports were both. Mishasa's forces have somewhat marshaled at this fort, but forces of Tyr, after finding their location, have quickly set off to encircle them and lay siege. And as you're discussing, as you rise high in the air, you can see this mountain approaching you. And on the south side of it, you start to see ever so slight movement. You're high enough now, the clouds are starting to get in the way of what you can really see. But you can start to see the large movement of people down below. And it seems like they're all marching towards the very foot of this mountain. It's somewhat blocked from your vantage. The rock, it almost looks like they're walking into it. But as you start to circle around, you start to see down below a stone wall, a fort built into the side of the mountain with hundreds of troops encircling it and within. And it seems like they're advancing. Arrows and swords will probably fly and clash at any moment.
The hour is upon us.
We're going to lay siege to the castle and meet the majority of her forces out. You can see, like, Yolder kind of just gives, like, a shiver, and then you can just see, like, wisps and embers and a bit of smoke begin to emanate from some of the vents that are fashioned into her new armor. And she just seems to kind of get some color back into her face. They will meet on the fields of battle, but we will need to get behind that wall and do so quickly.
Is there any reason that we
Let's
don't?
just bring it down.
Yeah. Why don't we just take down the castle? Take down the mountain.
I'll fucking just bury it.
Done it before.
And take a look at what.
As you look out and you see the forces marshaling.
Ooh.
Oh, Roll20 just blew up.
There's a lot of stuff, so it might take a little bit to load.
Oh god, there's so much.
Alright.
Zoom out.
I mean, let's get here to 20% so I can see everything.
Everything's so tiny.
What's this black abyss?
I took the right invocation.
That's my DM. That's my DM spot where I'm hiding things.
Boo.
This is cool.
I can see it all.
This will be our largest battle map.
Oh man, I'm totally gonna fucking just earthquake this. Let me see. Oh, I'm gonna
Second
fucking
to
do
our
that.
Order of the Light one in the 2 buildings.
Indeed, but you can see this structure is built into the mountain itself. I would have us confront these forces within, perhaps beyond the first wall, and I have had Ashamkar raise our altitude so we are beyond their immediate vision. We have 3 bomb bays full of gunpowder that we can try to use from high altitude to soften our landing, but we will have to find a way to get down there short of just parking the airship right above it, filling it full of arrows and whatever else they have down there. Presumably spellcasters. I do not know how many fireballs this ship can take, and I don't want to find out.
Especially with all the gunpowder in our bottom half.
As you see the movement, and you see arrows fly, as combat has as men start to fall.
Ashamkar, direct us towards the south. Actually, just the southern gate will work, actually. Not south, east, southwest? Southwest, yeah.
Understood. As you start to lower down towards the gate, as your ship emerges in the sky. Oh.
Ooh, close.
At this point, I
Yeah,
to be quite a ways up, though.
Yep.
Just
As you guys,
directly over it first.
yeah, you guys are probably about 500 feet up or so as you start to position yourself right above the wall, as you can hear the calls out from down.
Alright, as we pass over, go ahead and pull the levers. Drop all 3 bays on this gate.
As you start to descend, you can see these troops starting to move out, charging forward out of the gate. But behind the gate, you see even more men in wait guarding them, as it seems like some of your troops on the northern side start to surge forward, crossbow bolts loosed into the charging men. Give me those damage rolls. As you are you dropping it on the gate itself?
Yeah, I'm essentially trying to pepper just this whole fucking section of the wall. Just 30 kegs just in a lot, because I'm assuming we're high enough out that they can sort of spread out as we're kind of moving. But just as you carpet bomb this spot.
Yeah, as Mishasa basically drives you across this stretch of men.
Thank you,
Mishasa!
He's so sneaky.
Surges across this stretch of men.
Damn it, she's on the ship again!
She gets out and off so quickly.
Crafty.
Yeah, that'll work.
I'm hoping that's the effective radius, 3 bays worth, maybe about a 50-foot spread. From 5
Yeah,
feet
that'll
up.
do it. Sure. As just the entire southern wall starts to get peppered, as everybody, roll me some initiative.
Where should we
Man,
put
this took
us?
so long.
Put yourself on the ship.
We're on the boat, right?
Yeah.
We're on the boat
I'm on a boat.
with our flippy floppies.
Well, if I know we're gonna do war in, I think I would have flown off the boat. Is that all right to be?
Sure. Like the ship is like 500 feet up at this point.
I can shoot them from up here.
Oh yeah.
You've been
Put
telling
myself-
me that for years.
Give me initiatives.
This was like, I'll just be on the other map, guys. I'll shoot them from over there.
I got 300 range now too.
Just Eldritch Blast the archers off the wall. You don't have to actually kill them with the blast, just knock them off of it. Horrible person. I can't see my token. Zoom in.
Did I actually get that initiative roll on?
I see ya.
Yeah, but I don't think I'm on the initiative roll.
Let
me try that again.
Yourself?
You gotta have your token selected.
It's really, really, really small.
I don't think your token's on the map. I had to put myself on there just now.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
That's why I couldn't find it.
Yeah, I don't see anywhere. As the battle is already going on, you guys are being added into combat, so we are already halfway through. Which one was I on?
Why didn't I buy a feather fall item? Damn it!
I was on this
A
guy.
parachute.
Just jump off the ship. Don't you have like resistance to non-magical bludgeoning damage?
Oh, that's true. That's true.
You gotta do the
For
super
500
landing.
feet.
If you make
Yeah, but it's bad on your knees. So make sure you like cure wounds your knees, just in case you break your legs or something.
So you got 500 divided by 10. It's only 50 d6 damage.
Yeah, how much is that's like?
I thought it maxed out at 20d6.
It does. It actually maxes out at 10 d6 raw.
I mean, I could maybe only take like. Yeah, see, I would only take 82 on that. I still have 101 health.
Easy, easy.
He has more health than me and my bird combined.
Then you have to climb out of the crater, though. How good are you at athletics?
I mean, yeah,
But
he,
my crater is
obviously-
just right. I mean, do I take out like 6 of them or 8
Yeah.
of them? Like if I
Like,
do a cannonball, does it?
Lannister deals 194 damage to the person he lands on top of.
Can I just land right on Mishasha?
No, because she's back on the ship.
But this is why I already told him
That's
so
right,
she would have
that's
some
right.
info.
Give me that 76 damage for gunpowder going.
I did. It was 24. Unless you want to give me advantage. Oh yeah, I would totally, because I'm going to war, make my whatchamacallit today. So let me do that. I've only had it for like 2 days technically, so I kind of forget sometimes. I'll wait till you're finished doing your saves.
Alright, and it. What's the DC? 12! Ooh, a lot of these guys just barely not being able to get out of the way. Some of the larger individuals, though, able to make their save. As. How much did you say? 26?
I just aced the shit out that
24.
check. 24. How much does
24.
the wall take, though? Because the wall should be subject to each instance of damage because you love it.
Too bad the barrels were sort of scattered across the walls, and gunpowder itself, without any real heavy impact of it, does not seem to damage the wall all that.
That's fair. It's not like I was dropping a bushel of it right onto the wall itself. That's fine.
Yeah, it wasn't getting propelled into the side of the wall or anything.
That's BS.
You forgot
You dropped 30 fucking barrels
put
of gunpowder on that wall. I'm sorry. It's gonna go.
It's fine. It's fine. I'm just happy.
No, he forgot to put fuses in it.
There shouldn't even be a bridge.
All right, it's fine. It's all fire damage anyway. It's not like it does I don't know, explosion damage.
As these archers, though, the entire section of archers on top of this wall are just eradicated, as the entire southern side of this keep wall is just filled with fire, as are all of the reserve troops underneath, as they do not make their save.
A lot.
9 guys with my eyeball.
Oh yeah. As Lannister,
Well, I mean, we helped pull the levers.
I think Asha kills, to be fair.
You mean massage? It was whatever you mean.
Yeah,
it was Mishasa, yeah.
Russian Kami, Shasa, Salamim. Yeah, I know.
As Lannister, you're the first one up, as everybody's getting ready. Cinder already jumped off the ship. Yolder's fucking launching bombs and crap. As Lannister, what
Zoom in here. Go see where everyone is. Right, so 1, 2, 3, 4. So Ivar left and Cinder left. Right?
seems like it? They're jumping off the ship.
Okay. And how high up am I from like these walls? Like the top walls?
You're like 450 or so, or 475. Hard to say exactly. You're high up.
Damn it. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 people, that's second level. I'll cast Bless.
Oh, yeah.
Myself, Yoda, Desmond, and Freddy, because they're the only ones still here.
Alright. Put yourself a little bless mark. As troops down below.
Man, that's all I can really do right now, because I'm not going to jump off a fucking boat 500 feet in the air. I want to! I really do! But I won't.
You can see the troops around starting to surge forward as they're making their... As are the ones in the north, as it seems like combat in the north is kicking off as the forces collide on the bridge, as just a gigantic melee is is coming forth here. As you hear the strange grinding of stone of sorts underneath you as you look down. Cinder and Ivar getting a... As you can see, it seems like the far northern wall, a small gap or so in the stone, is revealed as you hear as large, heavy footfalls start crunching out into the base. As you can see, these mechanized units being revealed, walking out onto the field, seeming to be 2 by 2. As it seems like a hole in the side of the wall is revealed. From your vantage point, you can barely not even notice it until these things start walking out from under. But it seems like everybody's still far too out of range for them to fire, but it does seem like they start to angle up in your direction as the troops outside start to spread out, the elite executioners starting to cut through these men as they just get stuck in. You can see some of the soldiers falling immediately, although it seems like some of the knights holding their own as a couple of the executioners cut down these just it's like conscripted soldiers. There's a lot of them, but there's only a few elites in their number. These somewhat hastily collected members to hunt down Mishasa to put an end to all of this. As Ivar.
Yep. Let the Pegasus gallop off the side of the and spread out its wings and
Start to dive down below.
yeah, sort of ish, waiting for the party. Because I don't want to go down by myself, because that's scary. So, as I pull out the mandated blade, sort of inspecting it a bit, looking down, seeing my desired target, my sort of rival with Mishasa. Grace becomes fire. As I sort of put my hand on the hilt of the greatsword and then run it across, black flame seems to shoot out and lick its form as I get a holy weapon.
Ooh, a holy weapon in yourself.
Yep.
Alright.
There's a black blade with equally darker flame seems to light it.
Alright, as you start to charge off the side of the ship, you hear something off in the distance. As you can all see, tumbling through the sky, large rocks heading far below you, towards the gates.
Oh yeah, the horse dodges.
As
Right, I forgot about that.
the light catapults far off in the distance start launching rocks towards the gates, crunching into them, dealing a heavy amount of damage, all landing solidly onto the gate. One shooting a little bit astray, clattering onto the tower next to it, but you hear the bending and breaking of stone and metal as these stones collide. Alright. You see the remaining archers. Thankfully, it looks like you arrived at the perfect time to stop their first volley as the few remaining individuals scatter on either side and fire into the midst of men beneath them, but seems like only a few of them find their targets, as most of them have been just removed from the field. And Cinder,
having leapt off the edge, took a few seconds to look around this battlefield and assess the density, and that looks about what I'll need. I'll need 4 of those. As he reaches into the sky and starts to summon the power that he can muster with all of his strength, and he starts to pull meteors onto those 4 areas, except for he will catch everybody by doing that.
alright.
As he looks to the sky and pulls the screaming meteors into the enemy.
As you raise your hands to the sky, what do these meteors look like? How do they form? Give me some description for a fucking meteor.
Well, they look like I had cast it before. What it looks like as the power around me starts to coalesce as it gets denser and denser around me until the air sort of like lights on fire in a circle around me, and you can hear them before you can even see them. This like screaming from the sky as a little pinpoint starts to grow and grow and grow as these gigantic pieces of rock that are misshapen and not necessarily round, but they're spinning and flaming in fire as they come down. And at first, since they're just a pinpoint, it's hard to actually tell how fast they're moving. But as they grow, you can see that the speed is just blinding, and anything in its way will not have time as they tumble towards the ground and explode.
Yeah, as they hit the ground, there's almost a half delay as the earth just cracks for a second and then just explodes outwards. As let's do this a little bit at a time. As give me that damage.
So this one,
I use my reaction to hold onto the ship as I brace for the shockwave.
fire first, bludgeoning second.
And your save DC is what, 20, 21?
For the fire, it is 21. For the regular one, it is 19 for the bludgeon.
Oh, I've been looking forward to this day for so long.
It does fire damage. You get your higher save. It is a fire spell, just because it does a little bit more. As these constructs are rocked, you can see them knocked to the side as one of the meteors just explodes right in the midst of them as they are knocked and tumbled to different places. But they suddenly try to get back up onto their feet. As let's get some more dex saves. Ooh, as one guy tried to survive as he's actually able to dodge most of the blast, taking up what, 30...
70.
37?
140 total, so it's 70.
Oh, fuck!
Yeah, it's 40 d6.
Alright, okay.
Only
Yeah,
I do
40
20
d6.
d6. Cinder does 40 d6.
On a 9th level spell slot.
Yeah.
Whoop, whoop. Alright, these constructs are a little bit more fucked up than I thought they were. As this guy just took half of that, though. As these other guys, they are dead. As everything else in this area, nothing else can withstand the fury. Let me see if these guys, if any of them make their save. Ooh, one more does also. Only taking, 70 damage. As let's see, and these guys down here, let's see if these two guys can make it. Oh, nope. One just tried his best, but unable, as they are dead. The entire southern side just eradicated as these meteors just rain down destruction on the battlefield. And There are still some forces remaining, but not a lot. The walls are almost completely vacated. The meteors, the wall on the middle area just turned to ruin. The gate that had just been struck by the catapults also turned to ruin, taking the 70 bludgeoning damage. They are just shattered to pieces as
I didn't
forces.
hit this bridge, but I hit the other bridge. I don't know if
Hit
that
the other
affects it or
gate.
not.
Yeah, the southern gate and the bridge is destroyed. The northern gate is destroyed, but the bridge is not.
And I'd say there's like bits of flame, but it's not the kind of flame that's trying to ignite a village, but there's just dust and smoke billowing from each site.
Oh, yeah. As Desmond,
It's terrible.
seeing this view down below you, as powerful magic brought forth to just burn away everything. What do?
I holster my weapon and just shrug, like, what the fuck am I?
Well, they all did.
What's is this guy up here? Does he look to me like some kind of important, like maybe caster or something?
He used to before I killed him.
Yep.
Oh, he's
All
dead too.
All these guys are dead.
Okay. How about you make it a little more clear as to what's actually
Who's still alive?
Those robots are.
Robots are still alive. There's men fighting outside the gate on the eastern side. There seem to be heavily armored men below you that are loading crossbows at the moment, as it looks like the men you've seen by Mishasa's side, far down below you, seems to be looking up and starting to turn.
All right. I'm just gonna ready my attack, but I'm gonna climb on top of Freddy.
Good.
For me, Desmond. Ah!
I assume I'm probably like 450 up if I flew down some.
Because I'm gonna run for you.
As you can hear to the south, a war horn sound, as you can see beating white wings starting to make their way towards you. As you notice, feathers and armor on top of them. Thankfully, looks like allies are approaching on Griffinback, as more paladins make their way towards you into the fray.
It's not as cool as a Pegasus.
As these troops, without their leaders, turn and start to flee back, trying to get across the bridge, but having to swim across the channel back towards the gate with difficult terrain. They do not make.
Delete the orange circle.
Yeah, you delete it.
It's
Wait, it's
that
on.
way.
Yeah, I had to get it out of the way. There we go. These heavily armored individuals down below begin to flee as they are running inside. It seems like the walls have fallen and there is no protecting them as they sprint, and you can see behind the armored man, it seems like they disappear inside. As there are no archers remaining on the east or the northern wall. As that troop is also annihilated. As you see the armored man, seeing his troops run past him, turns, looking up into the sky, and walks inside.
Coward! Right there.
So you are dead.
That's basically exactly how I imagine this going.
Yep. You see a few arrows directly below you fire up into the air, but you are so far away. Doesn't.
Forgot that I get 6 more damage on those other guys.
The robots.
There's some ones in there too. I don't know if you made them twos. There were 5 ones. So that's 5 more damage.
So 11 more damage on the robot.
Yeah.
Alright.
Level 9 spells are fun.
Oh yeah, that's what fucking meteor shower does. As it seems like crossbow bolts are loosed into the flurry as more of these individuals fall on the northern edge. It seems like the one remaining troop, there's nothing that they can do to continue to defend themselves, as they are just getting slaughtered with the massive forces of Tyr's army surging. As you start to see something a little bit strange, as the water stirs around the base of this fortress, as large forms start to emerge, as they lurch up and tear into the men around them, as you see these giant crocodiles being let loose, some of them even attacking some of Mishasa's own forces, as one of these elite men is bitten and starting to be pulled back inside. But sadly enough, they also, on the southern side, charge into the line of men advancing and start to tear them to pieces. As it seems like the battle's not over quite yet. As you can see, cloaked figures below you, the ones avoiding the blasts of the meteor shower, disappear.
Which ones? The 5 dudes at the front?
The one directly below.
Ah, okay.
And then, yeah, the heavily armored individuals right below you. The executioner elites also walk inside, following. As you all start to hear something strange. The strange flowing of wind, it sounds like, shifting, and it sounds like the billowing of, like, sails? As it seems like high up above you, not too far above, almost at your same level actually, because you're so high, you see wooden forms start to emerge as cannons ring out, as 2 airships fly in and open fire.
Yeah, they do.
Are they on our side or their side?
Cannons are going at you. There we go. There's the guys on top, as 2 cannon shots are firing in your direction. Firing at the sky yacht. Who, thankfully, both of them not able to connect as Mishasa at the last Mishasa, goddamn it! Ashim Khan at the last second wrenches the fucking ship as the people still on ship start to wrench the side, as it seems like one of the cannon shots just bounces off the hull, just skittering across it, the one just flying over above you as these ships start to swirl around into position, seeing a small amount of men on board starting to reload cannons. As the one last remaining executioner also flees inside, the one surviving the meteor blast. As the troops down below, again, surging forward as they start to climb and follow after the ones moving across the water. Half of the troop, it seems like, breaking off to fight with this alligator. Let's see if they're lucky enough to take it down in their charge. Ooh, easily enough. With the men working together, they slay one of these terrible creatures that seem to crawl its way out. See other troops surging forward. This entire troop grouping up to slay this gigantic alligator, and there is plenty enough of them still surviving, especially with the paladin's help, to slay it. Armageddon's turn as Lannister. You see airships across from you, both about the same plane as they are. Looks like they're reloading their guns, trying to shoot at you. One about 120 feet away or so, the other one about 75 feet.
Do we have any guns on the ship anymore? Or did Yoda just butcher them all?
They're all gone.
There's some ballista remaining, but there's like 3, and they're like really in bad spots.
No, I thought the ballista were removed, weren't they?
I only kept 3 of them. But I was going to replace them with, if the cannon golems actually worked, I was going to replace them with Gatling golems. Because why wouldn't you?
Yeah, there seems to be 3 remaining ballistas in the back that haven't been replaced.
Wait, where's
friend Ivar for a ride?
Ivar?
He's sort of already down.
Damn it!
You were still up here with us.
Oh, he jumped off earlier.
No, yeah, I'm jumping off. Like,
I thought you
I'm
stayed
slow.
as high as we were, though.
No, I'm heading down slowly. I'm just making sure that I'm staying in pace with you guys. If that makes sense. Like, I'm going down a bit.
Well, because we're not disabled at all. We're still at 500 feet. That's why I thought you were the same as us.
Yeah, that's why he's flying down slowly.
So he's how much lower are you, Ivar? Are you like 20 feet below the ship? Are you 50? Are you 100? Or are you parallel?
Guys, 30, 40 feet.
Yep. So yeah, you can see Ivar down below you about 30 feet or so.
I mean, I would fucking break his horse's back, so I can't do that.
Cannonball the horse.
Nah, the horse will only take like
Catch me!
6 damage. It's fine.
Fuck it. Yeah, fuck it. As I'm gonna have to dash and I'm jumping.
You're just
right on top of these archers.
Jumping down for where one of the wizards just disappeared as you come tumbling down on the archers. Are you trying to land on?
Oh, you fucking know I'm trying to land on them.
Give me just a straight dex check.
Oh, this should be brilliant.
See if you can aim well enough.
Ooh!
As you get a beam on one of these motherfuckers as you cannonball straight down. Give me that 20d6. Is that right? 60 feet?
Oof.
Is he only falling 60 feet?
It's it's every 10. So it's 50.
Isn't it max though?
It'll be 50 d6. So yeah, it's 20 d6. So yeah. So 81 damage as the guy beneath you just crunches into nothingness. It is a nasty sound. But as you land, you can feel the divine armor around you. You can feel your dwarf and sturdy stuff. It hurts! You don't know if you've ever really been hit that hard before as you just collapse to your fucking... you fall prone as you just collapse to the ground. Your legs hurt. Your body starts to ache, but you're alive! Thankfully, the blessing of your god making you resistant to... Actually, I think that's bludgeoning weapon attack. I don't think you're actually resistant to bludgeoning damage.
Crack open the books!
As I'm pretty sure you take 81 damage. You are not defending against a weapon.
He takes no, less damage for having landed on someone.
It's
squishy something.
Magical weapons. You're right.
It's a weapon, so you take the full 81 damage as you're just charging into battle as crossbow bolts fly and cut down another one of these alligators.
Yeah, I think Bless falls, guys. I don't think I can make that save.
You make a 40 save.
He tried to block the earth with his shield, but it didn't work.
Let's see.
I got a little close. Like half.
Remaining troops cut down about half of this thing's health, but it's still alive and As Freddy, your turn.
I heard Yulder wanted me to go over there. So, give me a second here. I'm very, very, very tiny. Let me try and.
Yeah, it's a big one. It's a big map.
I'm surprised, knock on wood, that it's running so well for me. I mean,
Yeah.
It loaded fast.
yeah.
Helps that there's no dynamic lighting on it.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the thing that really eats you.
Alright, I'm gonna move closer to the bow over here, just so that I can grab hold of Yulder if she doesn't resist.
Make an attack to grapple.
Oh shit.
That takes one of your attacks.
You got like 3.
Alright.
Yolder, do you resist?
No. Scoop me up, please. Oh, lift me up.
Yolder gets scooped.
And I'm gonna go ahead and use his prepared action to shoot. I think I should be able to reach this boat, right? I can shoot somebody on this deck.
Yeah, they're not that far away from.
What's alive on here?
Seems like there's about 7 or like a crew of about 7 men or so. Seems like one of the elite executioners driving the boat, and then just a crew that are manning the guns. There might be some more below decks. You don't see them, but
I'm gonna try and hit this guy in the wheel.
all right.
Yeah, see if you can move the boat to the front. So that way it's above the X, maybe.
I don't think it will be because the X is a draw. Yeah, it's just,
When I hold an action, I can't do special stuff like Toman's enchant or anything, right?
sure you can. Just if it says like when you make an attack, you can.
All right. I'm gonna do Tillman's enchant, and I'm gonna do sharpshooter. So I'll take 5 penalty on the shot.
All right.
And
The shot rings out. Ooh, as it hits steadily into this guy as he tries to dodge out of the way. Give me that.
I gotta add the damage from the 1d8 and plus 10, right? So it's already.
Yeah, so another 10 and give me a d8. Another 4 is another shot like that. He will probably die straight out, but these heavy, hardy individuals, nothing less than a meteor shower will take them out.
Freaking impossible shit. Let me see. How much movement do I have left? Probably just enough to get up in the air, huh? I'm not gonna do it. I'll wait.
Yeah, you're moving at half speed because you got somebody grappled.
I'm done.
Yolder, as you're scooped up in one of Frederick's arms. Seems like he's about to take off, but not quite. Maybe waiting for you to actually mount him instead of just being grabbed.
Yeah. I will make sure that I have my staff in my hand and my shield in my arms, or like mounted on my arm, and I have this extra piece of metal jutting out of the back of my armor in the same slot that my staff normally goes in, except it's covered in the same black cloth I used to cover my hammer in. And I'm just clambering my way up with my movement, trying to get oh Jesus! This armor is so pointy. Why did I make it this way? As I try to use all of my movement to mount him, I guess, so I can break the grapple and get up here.
It's just half movement.
Yeah, I'm just making sure. I didn't know.
Yeah, half movement to mount a dude.
Let go of me, Freddy.
I don't know if you want to use the rest of your movement to jump off, but whatever.
Geronimo! No, I'll just I'll get up behind Desmond, and I'll for a moment my heart kind of pangs as I think about what it is I'm about to do. As I call on my magic, and for the first time, I believe, reach over beyond Desmond's hands over to his immaculate gun, and begin to trace long lines of inscription upon it that glow yellow as I cast Holy Weapon on Desmond for a change, and
Ooh.
I'm a little sad about it.
Oh. As Desmond, your gun begins to glow with holy force.
Tonight
It does.
2d8 extra damage.
Yeah.
The damn. Oh yeah, you know what? I got to go on a spell.
You still got a main action if you want to do anything else.
Oh yeah, trust me, I'm gonna. As I
You can see the
contemplate-
robots down below you starting to walk out.
Feeling inspired by Cinder. No, I'm just kidding. Just nuke them for 12 damage each because that's how much health they have left. I think I'll burn my charges and not hold on to the nuke for today. As I'm just gonna kind of give my staff a spin and just conjure.
You did just cast a 5th level spell, so be aware of that.
Fuck.
Conjure up a mighty cantrip.
Conjure up a mighty cantrip. Yeah, is it just cantrip? It's not like below 3rd
Yeah.
level? Okay.
No, if anything's higher than 3rd level, all you can do is cantrip.
Then I will conjure up a mighty. I don't think anything's in range, so I'll sit there and look pretty.
All right.
I will take the dodge action.
If you got like a 120 cantrip, you can barely hit that. I don't know if you have anything though.
Does my book increase the range of Sacred Flame, which is famously only 60
Nope.
feet?
Nope. As these large machines start to walk out.
Everyone's off the boat, right?
I mean, sort of. You guys are on the boat. You're just also on front. He's still standing on the boat.
Yeah, so I'll totally use my action to dodge, and then I'll shout to Asham Ka to get the Sky Yacht out of here as fast as she can.
Understood. I forgot to take her off the DM layer. She was hiding the whole time.
She could be shot.
I gave her Invisa armor. And
But Misasha brings the boat back.
Yeah.
No.
There's also no.
The mountain's coming. Pull up.
As these machines just turn their Gatling guns skyward and as bullets spray through the air, but they do not reach you. You hear the tink tink of bullets hitting the side of the Sky Yacht, but looking on the side, you see no discernible damage as you were just far out of range of their bullets to be any effect. Let's see, what paladin is this? One's in the front here, charging forth to strike into elite min executioners as they get grappled in, start the fighting, as this other executioner on the far side is surrounded. The last remaining of the non-elites get cut down in the front as the battering ram is dropped as the gate has been annihilated. No need for a battering ram anymore, as these men also start to charge forward into the fray, as Meteor Shower did a quick work of the gates. As that guy accidentally already had his turn, so he's gonna wait a bit. He got his turn before he was supposed to.
Cheater!
These elites are going to fight out, trying to get out away from this crocodile, cutting best they can. As let's see if they can fell one of these knights. Nope, as they failed quite badly, trying their best, assaulted from both sides, but they make no headway in slaying their foes. Ivar, still about like 470 feet up in the air.
How far is the ship?
It's about 30 feet up, and however far away it is. It's about the same level as your ship. So,
Yeah.
you'd be about like 125 feet away or so, 120 feet from the closest
Yeah.
dude.
The horse just disappears underneath the ship. That's cool. And so I'll fly on over and take care of this airship.
Alright. Oh, I need to find you now. Now you disappear.
Oh, great. Oh. Goodbye.
Playing a shell game with Ivar.
Don't worry about it. There we go. Everything's
Don't worry
fine.
about it. It's fine. It's good. I'm great.
There we go. As you dash forward into the fray.
Nope.
See this
Going
injured
north
man,
too
a
fast.
horrible bullet wound in his shoulder as he tries to draw up his great sword. As the men on deck also start to draw their
Sort of in one veering motion, my blade of light, trying to take this guy down.
Alright.
One
Cut him
great slash, cutting him from shoulder. Raw.
That'll cut clean, doing 18 damage.
I forgot to tick on my hole. And just fill that. 9. So far 6.
Alright. Cutting into him even deeper. Ow! Ugh! He's still alive, though. Another couple cuts like that, you could take him down, but again, these elites, they take a lot of...
Alright. One more attack this time, pushing all my force into one hand, trying to take this guy down in one stab to a great weapon master. Wow, 15.
Ooh, 15, not gonna connect though, but failure's not an option as you can reattempt the same attack.
Yep.
Ooh, this is not gonna connect.
Done.
Using your reaction, just quickly turn the blade and strike again, but heavily armored individual not getting able to pass his plate mail and blade.
Horse activate.
As horse kicks out, except, oh yeah, it is horse reaction. Alright. As horse kicks out and does connect, doing 11 damage to him. But he still stands, just barely. As another mage from on top of the tower, disappearing. As the paladins continue to surge forward, this time you hear the this time catapult shots going further in and colliding with the wall directly underneath you, just laying siege now to the walls where some of these archers are still remaining. Lannister, as you hear and just feel the ground shake underneath you as the wall beneath you is impacted by these stones. But thankfully, let's see if they still stand. I don't think they can do enough damage in a single volley, but let's see how much they do. Yeah, not nearly enough damage to take down the wall, but you feel the shaking. Maybe if you weren't already prone, it would knock you off your feet, but you're already on all fours here. As these archers, there is one remaining, and he starts climbing his happy ass down the wall to get the fuck out of here. The guy at the far left, as he makes a dash for the... Yeah, not that guy's turn. He's on a dish. As Cinder, you see this one archer that escaped your blast and the explosions of the fire barrels below you, starting to run for it.
He doesn't look like much of a threat, but seemingly from out of nowhere, another airship joined the battle, and that seemed like a threat, so I spin and stick my wings out straight to catch the wind as I redirect my direction straight back up, rise up into the air, take out both of my hands at the side as my scale flares, and then toss power forward as it starts to turn into 5 different beads as it flies towards the ship, 4 black surrounded by 1 red. And as the red one seems to hit at about right here, the 4 black ones, with Eldritch Power, attempt to knock the man at the steering wheel off of the ship.
Alright.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Give me that fire bolt and the blast, as all those blasts connect solidly. All 31s to hit. That'll... Oh, 132. Oh, shucks.
Not
That's
hexed,
it.
but
You do a knockback.
I knock him back 40 feet. And the red bolt wasn't firebolt. It, as it gains heat, sort of like a napalm, it attaches right here and then streaks across the bow as a wall of flame appears from side to side, covering the steering wheel and pointing towards the stairs.
Ooh, as you just cover the top of the ship in fire as it just burns out. As you can just see the ship ever so slightly starting to tilt sideways as it seems like the man blasted away, spun the wheel ever so slightly, and with no one else at the helm, ship does not look like it's Fucking gonna be in the air.
And I just stare at the other men on the ship, daring them to move towards that steering wheel.
Yep.
So does Ivar.
Alright. Unless you want to move. Desmond.
I'm gonna cast. Well, yeah, I'll cast haste on myself, and I will then take a regular shot at that same dude that I was shooting at before. He's still up, right? Yeah, he's still up.
Guy that's fighting Ivar. He does not look like he's in a good way. You should take that.
And that'll just be a regular shot. So.
Do not have advantage, and the 17 will not connect. Hard shot trying to get past Ivar. He's a decent ways away on top of another moving ship. It just doesn't quite connect.
I'll use my bracers to shoot another shot.
Alright, give me a shot. That one will connect.
I get a little more damage, right? I get like what?
Extra 2d8.
2d8.
Yeah. A 14
Plus.
2d8 10.
Yeah.
He's just barely alive. As
God,
Ivar, you see a bullet shoot into this man's neck as he just falls to the ground, barely still alive, clutching at his neck and bleeding profusely. He looks like he's probably died on his own. And
Done.
Alright, as the Griffin Riders start to fly in, as they fly upwards towards this ship now on. I can't select them. Ship, you need to be on map layer. Get the fuck out of here. Oh god, why? There we go, you're
Everybody's
back.
dead.
As the paladins on wing fly upwards toward the ship and start to land on the side of it as they start to claw in to these men, as two of these men are just clawed and pulled overboard as they fall to their deaths, as the other one starts to just pull down on the side of the ship as it starts to lisp even more dangerously towards the side, as with the new weight of these creatures, it looks like it's going down.
I'm yelling timber.
As these guys are dead. They got as archers on top of the stuff. I've got to do this real quick so I can see. As this archer is dead, as you squished him, with the other archer turning around, fear in his eyes, as he is good. Yeah, he pulls out a short sword and tries to.
Nope.
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 Neither of them connect. As these other archers, though, 3 surviving, no real other course of action as they turn and try to rain arrows down on you, Lannister, as 6 arrows come.
Advantage.
Because you're prone.
Yep.
Yep, as none of them even getting close, just raining down around
Sitting
you.
there on my back going, ha! You can't hit me! Oh my god!
The 23 hit you? No, you got 26 AC. Oh, the guy's just stabbing down at you with a short sword. He just can't fucking connect.
Nope. Just can't do it.
That is
Oh my
it
God.
for them. As more crossbow bolts fire, the elite falls in the north. As crossbows just ring out, more men dying. As also this crocodile falls in the fray as well.
No, not Alan. Damn it. He's my
That's
favorite crocodile.
As the 2 remaining crocodiles doesn't have anybody else to fight down here except for a knight, which he is unable to kill in a single swing. This one is going to try to bite up at the elite. Let's see if he can do anything. Let's see. No, not be able to bite into him. As the crocodiles just flail, trying to look for. As the main force continues to charge in, as it seems like a lot of the forces of Tyr are actually making it across the moat and into the compound as they catch up to this archer and cut him down. You dead, Jim.
Oh, not Jim.
As these guys also surge forth with nothing else in their way, able to kill this elite as they continue to push their way in, as this northern gate is also about to fall to the forces of Tyr. As
Well, we'll get up, right?
And I will say, actually, Ashim Ka did not actually get on the initiative. So the ship has pulled away at this point, as it is pulled higher up.
We'll get up. We'll swing at this guy.
That will connect, doing plenty of damage. How do you want to kill this guy? This poor, pitiful archer trying to stab down at you.
Right, so like he stabs down, and I just like lift up my arm and it hits it, and then like I just like reach behind him and just like grab his head just right through the throat.
He's dead.
Let me see here. Oh, is this equal level?
No,
Like,
this
am I
one
taller
is a little
than
bit
them?
higher up. It's about 15 feet up or so from where you're.
15 feet up. Is this one higher up too?
Where? Yes, it is also even higher than that.
Okay.
Is it a stone inside?
Can I make that jump? I've got
Where?
8 strength. Like, can I like run and make this jump?
It's actually like a sloped upward, so it's not even climbing. It's just
It's just
run
it's
up
just
the
like
slope.
it's like a.
It's
fuck
like
yeah, I
a.
could've just run up it
It's
then.
sloped enough, but with your strength and athletics, it's easy enough to just run up. You'd have to make a jump for like 5 feet up just to get on top of the little palisade, but easily
Oh, I got that.
with your strength.
You just Mario jump.
I'm gonna use my. I'm gonna attack him again.
All right, get cut. That'll do it. The 17, just enough to cut him down.
And then I walk up to the next one, and I'm gonna use a bonus action to swing at him.
All right, that'll connect.
I did get the
18
damage on
enough.
that.
Cut him down.
I get my extra damage on this one though too. Because
Yeah, you do.
Action.
Yeah, but it didn't even really need it as you just start cutting a swath through these archers up here, as this is the only one remaining.
As then I scream at the top of my lungs, "I am a god!" As I action surge and heal myself for 70 hit points.
All right. Action
What does that
surge,
look
pouring magic into you.
As I just go like, "Aah!" It's just like all this fucking energy, like between like the
Goku.
gauntlet and the sword, it just like arcs, and then it just right into me, and my beard looks fucking majestic as shit. As all the gems begin to sparkle.
There's like a divine wind that just kind of moves your beard beautifully.
Wind chimes.
Oh yeah,
continuing.
just fucking shooting like prisms and rainbows, like fucking everywhere. It's just like my hair just like fucking blowing in the wind, like fucking GQ cover.
Fucking Dorman Fabio over here.
That's right.
Somebody gotta Photoshop that.
Point right at him. I go, we'll fucking kill you next.
There's more Tears Force.
And like I make sure like when I shout and like it all comes over here, like I make sure like these people are watching, right? Because you know.
Oh yeah, you just hear a cheer come up from down below you. Ah! Then you very quickly start to hear the as gunshots are starting to rain out. But it's Frederick's turn.
Freddy just kind of does like the Superman pose as he uses dash to get as far south towards this ship as possible.
All right. That ship is tilting very badly, and it's on fire. It looks like it's about to crash to the ground any second now. The one in the center.
I get like 80 movement, right?
I believe so. Taking Yolder with you.
Can somebody measure that for me? Because I'm having a hard time.
It's fine.
All right.
That was the last time we ever saw Yolda.
Dash over to them.
Yeah.
All right, Yolder. If you get dashed over towards the side of these men on the failing ship, as looks like down below you, Tyr's forces are just pouring through the destroyer.
Yeah, Yolder just kind of just kind of waves her staff in almost like a just a happy kind of fashion, seeing them prevail thanks to the combined immense efforts from both the airship and Jesus Christ, those fucking meteors. As Yolder just kind of moves herself on Freddy a little bit to try to position herself so she can try to jump to the helm, knowing that even if it is a lot of fire, hopefully it's not just automatically primordial fire every single time you cast, and you can choose it. Because
I didn't say it.
You didn't say it, and I want to stand in your fire already.
I didn't say it. So,
as Yolder is going to try to wrestle this thing back into the air, but she will use her action, or just try to call out to the Griffin Paladins to get off the ship, and that she's got this.
Okay.
As I'm intending on trying to save that thing.
Gotcha. So, holding your action to hopefully Frederick will drop you off by the ship, and hold your action to take it. Alright. Oh no. It happened!
Seeing air vehicles?
Crashed?
Roll 20 finally froze.
I got trained by Asham Ka to fly the sky yacht, and I did that for like 2 days.
Nice.
Hey, Dad, can I try driving the car?
So sit on my lap and steer.
I trained how to fall with style.
Alright, give me a moment, I gotta reload.
Oh geez, now you're frozen and you disconnected on Discord. Everything's gonna explode.
Connect on Discord? What?
Yeah, it sounded like
Oh, I did, yeah, I'm getting shitty red latency on Discord.
See?
Everything's dying! The army's dying and I'm dying!
One day should Meteor Swarm Discord?
What you don't know is the enemy's forces is directly tied to my life force.
That's true.
What? No!
You did.
As soon as the last one falls, I'm
He
just
put his heart and soul into this fight.
That's true.
You guys were supposed to die!
It was the perfect plan.
As these machines start to round the corner, they are badly busted up, but still functioning. Nobody finishing them off. As they turn the corner, and the cheering of Tyr's forces, they don't quite recognize it in time. And the bullets rain out. And Yolder, seeing the forces beneath you get obliterated by bullets. Just a hailstorm as they are completely annihilated. Let's see if the Paladin survives. He does not. As the entire swath of troops beneath you are eradicated by these weapons of Misha.
A single tear rolls out of Yolder's eye and it turns to steam on her cheek.
It seems like battlefield not quite safe yet. This next Paladin's turn, I believe, is one in the north. His troop, charging forward, cutting down the last remaining of these elites, as well as this crocodile that's in their way as they start to pour across the water and the bridge as they start to charge their way into
Brandon's getting a stern letter from PETA. Way to go.
As all these executioners are dead. And Ivar, you hear the gunshots just echoing down below you. This man before you just bleeding out of his neck on the ground.
Poor lost souls. That was really quick. Poor lost souls. Sorry for marking up, seeing Tier's voices get obliterated, but returning his attention to the airship.
The airship's initiatives got fucked up because I had to put them on map layer. Fuck. Oh well.
F. It's okay. It's fine. I would have killed them all anyways. Yeah. Basically, it's kind of over for sci-fi. Finishes off this guy. Yep. So you guys, they just start running. No.
As you cut down into this man, how do you want to do this?
Just jabbing the mandated blade where I believe his spine would be, or rather his neck, lopping off his head.
As his movements stop, the struggling gone.
Look over to the rest of them. Do they seem to be preparing for vengeance? Or are they sort of hesitant?
They all just seem like they're slowly backing away from you, axes in hand as they start to brandish it, but yeah, they do not seem to really want to charge you.
So I put one hand on the wheel and yank it sharply to one. Try to get this thing to crash.
Nice.
Alright. As the entire thing starts to lisp in your direction, as very quickly it is going to crash probably into the side of the mountain, the angle you're at.
Right. Start flying off.
Alright.
Another steam tier from Yolder.
Literally. That's actually a lot of.
Actually, no. Yeah. I guess I use my second attack, sort of my bonus action. As I turn the wheel, I chop the wheel off, so they can't do anything about it.
That's what I'm thinking. If you're gonna fucking destroy my fucking third airship, then you better do it right.
You turn the wheel and just slice the wood in half, your magical blade cutting through it like butter, as the men just look at you in terror. What did you do? As you fly off. As you can see them starting to run towards the wheel, but yeah, you don't think there's any way of them being able to salvage it. As you're a dead archer. You fuck back there.
Dead body just glitches through the wall onto the boat. He got ragdolled from the meteor swarm.
Alright.
So I have one more attack?
Yeah, you killed a man.
Yep. Sort of falling down, and these guys are large, so that means I don't get advantage anymore.
They are far away from you. You were 500 feet up in the air.
Yeah, you're right. We're dashing.
They're dashing down below. Probably take you another dash or two to get there, really.
I could just jump off my ship. I mean, my horse. Superhero landing like a Lannister.
Could if you wanted to.
No.
Alright, Cinder.
Sort of. I think I can sort of intuit Yolder's plan over there. I don't drop my flame because I know what strength I put into it. I'm going to go ahead and fly towards these robots. But they are, even though I'm dropping, they're way out of range, so that's all I do.
Yeah. Alright, you start to get closer to them. Desmond, up in the air, you can see the ship in front of you, or the ship behind you at this point, lisping onto one side, the ship in front of you, lisping the other, as these paladins seem to heed Yolder's words, as you can see their wings on their griffins beating as they start to take off away from the ship, but it is still lisping hard away from you.
What do you got? 4 dudes on there?
Looks like it.
Alright. Bang bang.
Bang bang. Give me them shots.
I'll use Thunder Cannon with a level 2 spell. And a sharpshooter.
All right. You see,
Yep.
which motherfucker are you like looking in the eyes, and you're like,
You need to
You
die.
did.
all right, as you just putting everything you got into this one motherfucker.
That's not every. I got all these.
That'll connect. All right. You do 47 plus 10, 57,
Plus
and then plus
2d8.
48.
Plus holding.
plus 48. Give me 48.
Mm-hmm.
So 57, 71 damage. How do you want to cut?
Dude behind it.
I hope I explode his head. That's what
Yeah.
I want.
Yeah, both of these guys are just ripped to pieces. The thunder damage pierces through him. Just an explosion of gore showers the guy behind him, and you realize as the first one falls, the one behind him, there's just a hole in his stomach the size of a fucking... As they are both ripped to shreds, as you did 71 damage to the guy that had 17 up.
All right, cool.
Good shit.
Great job.
Let's
You flipped it. There you go.
let's try that again. I'm not gonna pump the crap out of this one, I guess. you guys don't seem to like my stuff.
Well, overkill's fun.
That'll connect. Doing 11 damage plus 2d6, or 2d8.
Yeah, 2d8.
See if you can kill him.
Oh,
Just gotta roll better than a 6. Or a 6 or better.
Yeah, 2d8, let's see,
I
yeah!
didn't put the space in it before.
And it's thanks to the holy weapon, the holy radiant of their your bullet. Seems like the wound almost burns with holy light as it shoots into him, and he only one man remaining on the ship. As the Griffin Riders, heeding your words, knowing this is a one battle, they take off and start to soar downwards towards their troops, hearing the gunshots, starting to make their way down towards the ground, but they're quite a ways away from being... As the last archer, Lannister, turns to you and just throws down his weapon. I'm sorry! Please! I give up! I give up! I give up! As he just kneels on the ground. As these paladins... Which paladin is that? The archer man up top. Basically, the forces up top are just surging forward with nothing else. Crocodile's dead. Main force. Ooh, that's shitty. As all these guys are dead. As more of the troops surge in, making their way inside the walls, not quite being able to make their way all the way to these machines, though, as they just start to pour in, not dragging their... As Lannister, it's one man in front of you, seeming to surrender.
Is he a merciful god?
You violate the Geneva Convention.
As you cut him down.
No, I said I knock him out.
Oh, okay. as you bop him on the side of the head, as he... That is just enough damage to knock him unconscious. As the archer says, you can just not pour the radiant damage in there, I guess.
Nope.
But he falls
Don't do
unconscious. Red side of his head bleeding a little bit from the bash of the...
Batman doesn't kill people.
That's true.
Like,
Darth Vader does.
His car does.
So, are there any doors up here? Like, how do people get down?
It seems like there's a door in this little tower over here that reaches up higher even.
Okay. 5. And now I'm a dwarf, so I know things like stones and shit. Can I break a hole in the ceiling?
Possibly. This, the side here took hits from a meteor shower, and is still actually standing relatively sturdy. The wall itself has crumbled quite a bit, but where they've landed directly on top, it's actually still sturdy, strange. And as you walk on it with your dwarfiness, you notice that it doesn't actually sound all that hollow beneath your feet, as if there's almost not a cavity underneath you. Maybe this was actually just built directly out of the stone of the wall itself. Well, the mount, that is.
Did that. Can't do that. Yep. So I'm gonna run over there. Slide down. Oh, nope, I'll probably get stuck right there. Can I see like down here, or is it like just like up and over?
Wait, what? Sorry, I was moving stuff.
Like I see like this courtyard?
Yeah, absolutely.
Perfect. Nope, that's the wrong button. Click on that. Where's our party? There it is.
As the troops.
Wait, that's probably too far.
And you see, as one of the paladins charges it.
That'll be my turn. I can't do anything else. It's too far because I'm
already
more than 60 feet.
Yeah. You already made attack, so no other spells except for bonus actions. As the paladin seems to run in, and you see.
I cast spiritual weapon, but it's too far.
Too far. Yep. As you see a little glimmer of light from down below, as it seems like one of the paladins is trying to do something. As Frederick.
Flashes.
Yeah, we how far is that? Is that 40 feet? It's like 40 feet, right? It's 45 feet.
Get to the edge of it. Steering wheel's like 55 or so away from you.
It's the one dude.
Bit and I can jump off onto it.
He's just gonna dash anyway. He doesn't matter.
Get it.
He's just gonna stand next to this guy, assuming he's gonna jump off. Because
the guy's just covered in the gore of his friend next to him that he's got shot. As you start tearing down in front of him, as Yolder, you start getting close to the steering wheel. It's basically right up there, but there's a wall of fire.
Oh yeah, like the second the bird gets close to the ship, I just kind of heave myself over to the side and try to just tuck and roll into the this area. I have no fear of flame.
Using your held action easily enough, you've got enough strength to make that jump as you jump into the fire. As it is warm, but you do not burn.
I just try to kind of reach forward and try to correct the course of this thing and get it even using my item interaction.
Yeah. And you just start to turn the ship as it starts to right itself, but you can feel as you grab onto the handle of this thing and start to turn it, one of the handles just breaks off. As you can see, it's just starting to burn that basically cinders. As you know, cinder's magic. This is not normal fire. This does a whole lot more damage to things than normal fire does. As the entire strip is just burning away, you step on one spot and it just collapses underneath the weight of your feet, as the backside of the ship is just going to be ignited in flames here any second now. But you do get it righted before the handle completely falls to pieces, since thankfully it's only been about like 12 seconds or so, but burn.
Cinder, cut your flames!
Sure, yeah. Drop concentration.
Alright, sure.
All you had to do with that.
I take the extinguish action, and I reverse all damage.
And then I just ready a sacred flame and just kind of hurl it around Frederick and dex save against that one dude.
Alright. And with the dwarf jumping and dashing his way down the roof, these machines turn as this dwarf advance on them as they turn up. Hmm?
The one I'd Sacred Flame the dude on the boat.
Oh shit! For some reason, I was moving on. Sorry. Give me that attack. Give me that attack. He does not make a save. How do you want to burn him away?
I get 23 damage because I rolled a 36 on my religion check today, or like some 33.
Oh yeah. He is very dead. How do you want to do this?
He's just awestruck looking at Frederick as it's like this big metal angel or whatever, and then he's just looking up at it, and his eyes just go in flame, and he just goes into like a pile of like he's looking in the face of God with a cantrip, of course, you know, classic.
Yeah, it's a powerful fucking cantrip. Does 23 damage. Yeah, sorry if I'm skipping shit. A lot of stuff. I'm fucking getting at a clip. As Lannister, you've got 8 shots coming your way. I think. Multi-attack. No, you've got 12 shots coming your way.
How the fuck, motherfucker, son of a...
Literally,
Not a single one connects with you.
That's right.
Not
so
a
I just
single
stand
one.
there, right? I just stand there like this. I just go like, try me!
It's just the shingles
Like
and
a man in
roof
the
are
Iron
just
Mask, right? Like a
exploding
bullet
all
around
around.
the corner. And it's just like, bing, 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 bing,
it's like the Wonder Woman scene, except there's like 30 times as many bullets, and you're just letting them hit you, and they're bouncing off.
I'm telling you that when you're ready, you won't have to.
Oh, I'm gonna have to fucking get the dents out of that armor.
As the troops behind start to charge in and start to cut in the backside of these creatures, and they are so damaged they are actually able to take out one of them from behind as the forces start to join the fight in the middle of the courtyard, taking down the Ivar.
Am I still flying down?
I don't know, are you?
How high up am I? So it's like the Pegasus can move 180 feet.
You're 500, so now you are 320.
And so I need like, I guess 2. Sure.
Ivar reaches for one of the javelins he forgot that he already has always, and chucks a javelin for 1d6 damage.
Clearly. I don't plan on dying today. So mutters to himself. He casts Death Ward.
Yeah, preparing for what is to come. Good shit. As you continue to descend, I'm assuming?
Yep, and the Pegasus has Death Ward too, because that's how Fine Steed works.
Yeah. Doubles up the shots as seeming that the forces have made it inside the walls. The catapults stop their firing, but their troops start to charge towards the gates as well to help their allies. As I try not to drag the catapult. As Cinder, seems like this battle is quickly coming to a close. These dangerous machines down below, but now they seem to be starting to get swarmed as they are going to be quickly torn to pieces.
I'm really far away, so I was at 420, so I dash and drop to 360.
Alright, trying to get closer. Desmond? Everybody up here dead. The ship righted. The fire gone.
Yeah, I'm just helping to get things, situated so this thing doesn't fall apart on us. So
Putting out the fires.
I'm moving into place or whatever. Whatever Yulder thinks I should do, like I adjusted or whatever.
Oh no, she needs your help. She's
Hmm.
hoping you know what to do because you're the artificer.
As they're riding the boat to the ground. What do you do? I don't know. What do you do?
All right, so I just
How do you drive this thing?
anything that looks broken, I use mend on.
It takes a really long time for mending.
Yeah.
Mending.
It takes a minute to
A
cast.
minute.
You just whip out your tinkerer's tools and make a tinkerer tool check to do some repairs. Finger guns.
Yeah, you can help to keep it together to try to get it towards the ground because it does seem like this thing needs to land. You don't know how long it'll hold together up in the air. But alright, as Griffin riders continue to swoop inwards, making the around as the archers all dead or unconscious. Paladin up above the archers, just taking position, as it seems like the battle is almost all but won. I think I just skipped one of the Paladin boys. I think it was this guy, though. As they continue their advance, as they swarm the next of these machines, as they cut it down as well. As Lannister, back to you, as you see your allies down below, after blocking and dodging these shots, starting to take these machines apart. There's only 2 of them left.
Well, how far down is it?
It's about a 30-foot drop or so from the top of this.
I'm gonna jump on.
Alright. Give me that,
Like the fucking
dex
sword's
check.
coming down too.
Give me a dex check. Yeah. Unless you're trying to, like, grapple and grab onto them or something. If you're just trying to cannonball into it. Give me a dex check.
Like I'm gonna jump and like try to stab him.
Like you're trying to hold on to them. Are you trying to hit the ground, or are you trying to like hold on to it and keep stabbing it?
Like I'm trying to like jump, and like as I'm jumping, like because he's tall, like the sword's just gonna go, and then like as I continue to fall down.
Look at that. Yeah. As you charge into him, you get in range and give me your weapon attack, but it seems like it backs away at the last second, and you're not quite able to bash into it with your body. You're going to hit the ground, but your sword will most likely connect, as it does, as you deal 23 damage? Is it still barely alive? As you take 3d. Take 14 damage. Don't you roll your fucking ball damage. I'm the one that gets to kill you. Take the 14 fall damage as this thing is barely still put together. Swift breeze
again.
kill it. That will take it out. It falls to pieces.
Like no, nope. That'll be. That's all I can do. I use all my movement.
All right, as
Actually, no. You know what? I'll do a little second wind.
oh, all right. Gain a little health, trying to regain the
for
breath that you
another
knocked
damage.
out of yourself a second ago from jumping out of the sky. As the forces of Tyr charge forward, an entire unscathed troop of them, and tear this thing apart. As the final enemy seems to fall, troops on the side of the ship, as you just see as the airship just collides with the side of the mountain, bashing up against it and just sliding down the mountain as I move the world.
As the world shifts with so titanic in its explosion.
But importantly, does Ivar look back at the explosion caused?
No, he doesn't. As the
Alright.
lone dark dots, that is Ivar and his Pegasus.
it just grinds up against it and falls and breaks on the ground, crunching into the
No, we
building below it.
can't have that.
Yes.
As I
And it
fly
seems like
back.
the entire front end just like breaks open onto the ground, as it's almost sticking like vertically into the ground at this point. The bottom side of it is just torn to pieces.
Well,
All these men fall out, and
that's not gonna buff out.
That's a decent one-liner. I like it.
yes, a cheer goes up with a moment of hesitation. The battle is won. As the forces of Tyr, our heroes, are victorious. Although many of you closer see the entrance, a large barred metal door leading into the heart of this fortress. And it seems like there's more to come. But members of Tyr starting to spread out across the battlefield, trying to tend to their wounded the best they can, as there were still many men who. And Yolder, you were able to get control of the ship and with Desmond's help, gradually able to drift it
know.
to the ground.
Nah,
Maybe?
I'm willing to toss this thing to the side if my theory proves to be true. As I kind of asked Desmond as we're kind of putting this thing back together, if there is like a similar to all the things that he's scavenged for his robot, if there's like a core or like a power source or something we can rip out and let this thing crash to the earth to use for our own endeavors.
I know we should salvage this. We can make it. We can salvage the ship.
Just land it.
Meow.
Alright, well, it looks like perhaps there might be something we can pull out of the other one then. As I kind of just look around the ship. How large actually is this thing?
About as big as you see it. It's a little bit,
The underdecks, I mean, because, like, you know,
yeah.
kind of confusing.
Yeah, there's a single deck underneath it. It's actually a relatively tall ship, strangely enough. It doesn't have quite the sleek design as as your ship. If it was on the water, it almost looks like it would be like a cog of sorts, although a little bit smaller. It's got this very top-heavy sort of build to it, with these two large castles on either side.
Okay, if he thinks we can salvage it, then I'll follow his instruction to land the vessel and ask him to help me in pulling out the power core, air quotes, of potentially the other vessel, because the Skyyacht needs a bit more torque to carry that cool project of mine, and seems like a good maybe accomplishing that would be hot wiring those things together.
All right, as you're able to bring it to the ground.
And I'll use a cast of sending at this point, because I think she is too far for my little voice to reach.
Gotta get her up to 88 miles an hour.
As I get to delete all the billion dudes off initiative. Oh, yeah.
Telling Asham Kar to come. Asham Kar, yes. Asham Kar to come.
Well,
That's the right one. That's the right one.
It's an app.
To wheel this thing back around and see if she can hook up, like, I don't know, some tow cables so we can tow it.
Should we press our advantage and charge in while we're have the momentum?
No, we should lollygag. And wait for her to regroup. The sarcasm is dripping off of Ivar's voice.
Back on
What?
Frederick.
What? You
A
can't
little
just
less
blow up the
attitude and a
building?
little bit more opening the door then.
Oh yes, I would love to proceed without Yolder and death.
They're
Does
coming.
it just turn around? Does it just turn around and be like, "Hi! Let's go!"
As you hear the loud voice of Lannister from inside the walls. Hey, let's go!
We're flying as fast as we can and catch up to these.
As you fly overhead, you see some of the well-armored individuals, the paladins of the Order, starting to head in your direction as well. One man held by the shoulder and being almost dragged along, horribly wounded. And you notice this man. It's Paladin Torres. The one that witnessed Lannister slay poor Jade. But that has been
Wait,
settled
why
since
did I
then.
kill Jade?
You didn't.
This shit.
It seemed like Laura used your visage to gain the trust of Jade.
But I don't think you know that.
Yeah, when you and Ivar hook
Probably
up,
not.
man, you
Yeah,
guys
you
get
don't
into
know.
some trouble.
I mean, you sort of intuit it because the guy accused you, but you guys were able to hash it out after that battle a month ago. But it is actually that paladin here today, and he happened to be the one leading the charge, and also happened to be the one walking into the hail of bullets. But he lives, thankfully, to one of his compatriots. You. Thank you. We. You continue to hunt, yes? As he looks over
Oh,
to
I'm gonna go
Yolder.
fucking kill her.
Yes.
Indeed. first half of this fight is over, and so many of you have perished. It is going to be even harder inside. And I do not know if you... Looking at the Paladin Torres, if you all will be able.
No, I understand. Over this last month, I've seen what you and your friends can do. I understand we would only be in your way. May God be swift and on your side.
Did the Paladins
We will secure this.
stronger?
Not particularly.
Okay, look about the same.
Yeah, they seem to be in the same arms and armor. You didn't really get to see them fight anybody. They just sort of tore some people off the ship and then descended, but the battle was over in a blink.
Yeah, I just figured they'd probably be over here somewhere.
It would land.
Don't worry, I'll be swift.
You.
We will secure the area. There are still forces around. We had other men. This is the vanguard of our forces. Many will want to head back and aid those still in the field. But we will secure this place. You will not have to worry about your rear. We only hope you love.
Don't let them destroy the airship, please.
Understood.
Turns around and looks to the group and looks beyond the group to see the giant fucking door. Oh, fuck.
Just has his hands on it. Not really pushing on it, but just waiting for you guys to make amends. Are we ready?
You waiting for an invitation?
Simply waiting for us.
Melt the balls, Yoda! Let's go fucking kill a demon!
Who's this guy right here?
Are you
It's on a different map. Who?
This guy with the cloak.
He's just another paladin. Seems to be.
I asked
Some of his
that paladin if they can drag two of these to over to our airship, the one that we just landed.
Yes, of course.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Men, you heard it. They're unscathed and look at you with a smile. All right, as they start to take handfuls and try to drag this thing across the ground. It'll be a feat, but they're trying their.
So what do the doors look like?
They seem like big, sturdy iron doors.
I'll try to push it open.
Seems to be locked.
I try to push it open. I wasn't asking this time.
Yeah, the door can't stop him.
Yeah, nothing can stop him. Not even death. Death can't stop him. He just keeps going.
You can. Sadly enough, you cannot
Not
see.
even God can stop him.
You cannot see an enemy on the far side of the door, so you can't just walk through it.
I wasn't trying to walk through it, just trying
Make
to
an athletics.
athletics check. Yep.
Give me an athletics check.
Oop.
Yeah, it barely budges. The doors budge a little bit, but it very much feels like there's basically probably a very large iron bar on the far side.
Right.
That's like, man.
Are they like in stone?
It does look like a bit of it around the edge is certainly entrenched in.
Tear my way through this door, but it will take time.
Well, how long?
To fully call upon my gift, about 10 minutes or so. But we will be able to access this inside with a single expenditure of magic.
An explosive entrance.
No, I was just going to turn it into like bars of metal, like I did that one door forever ago. Remember that?
Forever ago.
Oh, yeah, that's right. The unlocked one.
Time.
No, it was definitely
yeah.
locked.
Yeah.
There was
Definitely locked.
There were giant iron bars. I could feel it. I touched the door, and I can feel through the metal Lannister.
It was literally impenetrable. There was no other way.
Yeah. He literally put it there so I could use fabricate on it. It was very nice of him.
Ivar just sticks
The
his
fact that he
sword.
has to use such magical means to get through doors is hilarious.
I mean, he couldn't.
Says the guy who couldn't get through the open door.
Zinger!
I just stab my sword into the ground.
Fabricate? You want me to? Is that what you want? Yeah.
Are you fabricating?
Rest 15
I'm
minutes or
asking
10
him.
minutes?
I said it takes 10.
I was okay with it.
Got nothing else to do.
I mean, it's bought
Our short rest 10 minutes or 15 minutes?
15.
Oh, damn it.
You can just rest for 5 extra minutes.
We've been talking for 5.
Alright,
rested a little bit already?
Rest as you fabricate. Yeah.
Alright, as you guys begin to rest and Yolder begins to channel her magic, what does your fabricate look like after 15 minutes has passed? Everybody's tended to their wounds except for Yolder, although I don't think you need anything on a short rest anyway.
Yeah, I'm undamaged and I don't get anything back on a short rest besides my breath.
You guys...
I have different versions of fabricate depending on what I'm doing, and this is the good old fashioned, hey, the door's in the way fabricate, so my hands are just molten fucking metal and I'm just literally ripping the door apart. Just big swaths, and every time I take like a handful away, the handful just gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and like as I scoop the metal and deposit it on the ground, it just comes out in these perfect, beautiful little cubes.
It seems like she's just pulling cubes of fucking steel out of the wall as very slowly a hole emerges and it gets wider and wider and wider through the time. And at the end of about 15 minutes for the short rest, a large gap is in the door.
Lannister totally calls the soldiers over so they can watch because it's really cool.
It's totally cool. I said, hey guys, it's totally cool. You should watch this.
The door's big enough to fit the hoist, right?
They'll have to squeeze, but yeah. And as you look within, you can see a passageway leading forward and down. A long stone passageway into the earth, getting darker and darker beyond your dark vision. Although it seems like maybe 500, 600, 700 feet away or so, you see the slight shine of a purplish light. As all the men around you gather. Godspeed, Outriders. Godspeed! In Tyr's name! In Tyr's name! As a cheer goes out as they stand at attention, wishing you good luck, as it seems like many of them have dispersed, taking care of their wounded, and hauling large contraptions across the ground. This passageway is open.
Well, as we go in here, she just kind of turns to you with your sword in the ground, and she just kind of matches your pose and sticks her staff in the ground before you, looks you in the eye.
Oh, he's sitting down.
Oh, okay. I thought you were doing like the.
No. The sword, no. It's the sword in his hand, sort of on it. He's just back to the wall, waiting.
Gotcha. So she just comes over to you and beckons for you to stand, seeing now the pathway is open. And she just kind of sticks her staff to the side of her and reaches up to the black cloth, this long object, and just starts pulling it out. That fiend gave me a present, and I wish to return it. And she hands you this long item covered in black cloth.
Yeah, take it. I like it. A long item. Oh, I saw. Oh, 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 oh.
As the cloth comes away, you can see it just really, really yellow. It's really gold. It's almost kind of painful to look at, like everything Yolder makes.
What? What, Yoda, did she give you silver?
Plating is something I do know how to do, Lannister.
Wait, can you plate my armor to be that shiny?
There is not enough gold in the world to make you as shiny as you wish to be, Lannister.
I mean, but we could still try.
I'll think about it, friend.
Ivar takes the spear, he sort of looks it over, sort of looks up at you, and in a quiet voice, I must admit, after a month, it's nice to see a friendly face full. It should be heedless to say, but check for traps. As I turn back to the group.
You would notice as you say that, and you call Yolder a friend, you can see her steeled for battle face just shatter. For a blink of an eye, she just gives you the biggest smile, and then it just seems to wipe away as quickly as she can. It's good to have you back, Ivar. I knew you. And she just kind of like leaves it at that and just kind of picks up her staff and turns back to the portal.
All right.
I just look over at Ivar and go, let's go fucking kill some shit. Like, a lot of shit. Like, everything.
As the god of conflict joins us.
You know what? As he just turns around, walks up, and just stabs this knight in the stomach.
Alright! It's on! Killing everything! As he starts to see around.
You just start stabbing the ground, killing the earth.
All right. Is there anything else you guys want to do before you start your descent?
Lannister didn't see that this guy's his son over here fighting. Dad, did you see that?
That would be amazing.
I don't have a son.
What's he doing here?
I have no son.
Like, George,
Mama,
just like you did, Dad.
Are you gonna take her head, or can I have it?
You would dare ask that question.
Well, I figured you want it. It's good to name your conquest though beforehand.
Yes, Lannister. I intend to take her head.
All right. So, like, could I have at least like an arm or like a leg?
Sure.
A hand,
You can have a
maybe?
leg.
Excellent.
I have her feet.
I'll have the dark meat and the drumstick.
All right. As you guys start your descent into this narrow passage, your horse and Frederick, after getting through the open door, the inside of this hallway is still somewhat confined as you make it deeper underground. As you can see, the walls start to turn rough into stone, but as it starts to level out, you see brick and mortar directly ahead of you, almost built out of the stone walls themselves. And Lannister, you know that stonework is old, ancient. You don't know if you've seen anything so old before. Even back within the mountain, within those mines, with those horrible tentacle-faced creatures, even their structures didn't look this old. This place is ancient. as you start to walk and cross a corner, looking out. The building to your left opens up to a large chasm before you as you see buildings all around. A strange complex built underground, and a strange purplish light being filtered out from underneath stones. And also the shining of blue lights, small lanterns hung in various places around. But you see no souls. Although Lannister and Yolder, leading the charge with Ivar right behind you, you do hear it. The click and clack of metal, arms, and armor. As you can hear, those that fled, they are surely down here somewhere. As you make it into the hideout of Mishasa, this strange ancient place below a mountain, the fort built on top. Hide it away. What mysteries does it hold? And there's also another thing. A sad realization. Where there were 7 of you before, there are only 5 now. And the thing that you face before you, well, just see if you can kill it. And that is where we will call tonight's session.
Woo! Movement on myself.
I would do one more thing before we got down here. I just didn't want to interrupt you because I knew you were going right into your flow. But as we're all gearing up and going down the stairs to start with, I'd go over to Desmond and just ask for his understanding for what it is that Yolder is going to cast on him, as she kind of just reaches down and asks to see his ring for a moment. I have always, because you make things and I make things, have a sort of kinship with you, and I know he would never forgive me if anything were to happen to you. As I just kind of call on some relatively simple magic, a sort of blessing that some clerics would give to newlywed couples, but in this case, she is casting it so that she can bear the burden and make sure that Desmond makes it out of here alive above anything. As she is going to cast Warding Bond on him.
Ooh. As you feel a strange connection between you and
It is not quite that mysterious bubble that he would always put you in, but hopefully this will help keep you safe.
Nice.
I curl my my hand into a fist and I rub on the ring, and I look at Yolder and I thank her.
Alright, good shit. With your weapon infused with holy magic and your body protected. Ready to... we will see what these strange facilities under the ground have
I connect my
in store for us next.
beam, and I just play Mercy, and I'm just pocketing Desmond. It's fine.
Yep. Good shit.
Mercy.
Alright.
I put my bird in cannon form, and I get Ivar to stand in front of it with his.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a force field shield out of nowhere.
Last, you can go build a turret somewhere.
Alright.
The dwarf!
And for everybody that joined us in the chat, thank you. Thanks for all the followers. You got a shit ton, apparently. And
that fight was probably crazy. I'm sure it looked crazy on the Twitch browse thing, and people were like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, it was. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Not something we did, or I've ever really done before. It worked out all right. I'm sure you're aware I was not rolling damage rolls or attack rolls for the hundreds of dudes on screen. It was the set piece, so I hope you enjoyed that. If you liked it or not, I don't know. Let me know. You can say something in the chat or something. I thought it was an interesting concept of how to run mass combat. I enjoyed it. I hope the players enjoyed it. Try to keep it as snappy as possible and actually still mean something. So yeah,
When you read
It's
the
a good
description of
thing
your spells
Cinder,
and think of like what they could do, this is like the perfect time to finally let it be realized. It was really cool.
Yeah, Cinder got to cut down turn order by a lot. Goodbye, 7
Cinder
million.
killed like 80 guys. He killed 50 men.
He finally got to cast Meteor Swarm unironically.
Hmm
In front of lots of people. I'm sure they were really impressed. Oh my god, Cinder is so cool.
They're
gonna be telling all
the
the-
coolest member
yeah.
of the crowd.
Yeah, he's so charismatic.
Oh,
got some more level 19 good.
Hopefully I'll be level 20.
We're gonna take in this fight, I guarantee it. Be sure to be back here for more of the Expanse, for more of its craziness, to see what on earth is inside of this spoopy cave. It looks like Brendan went and dug up some of his whatchamacallit, the art and shit from the weird tentacle face fuckers from the Mind Flayer cave. That's what the shit looks like. It's like, oh hey, weird purple stone and spooky staircases into the abyss. This'll be fun. Can't wait for eye lasers to shoot us out of walls again. That'll be great. Whole room just gonna be on fire. We can't see or breathe. I'm so excited. It's gonna be great. Be sure to tune in next Sunday, 5 p.m. Eastern, for more of the Expanse with the remainder of the Outriders, but they will prevail no matter what, because they are the Outriders, and that's all that really matters.
Can't lose. They're the protagonist.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm literally a god.
Brendan
So
literally doesn't want us to lose at this point. He wants
Or maybe
us to
he
lose.
does. Or maybe he does. He's like,
He'll be
oh,
free.
finally done with these little shits. I don't have to think about
I've been
anything.
playing this game for a year and a half. I'm gonna fucking kill him in the last session. It's gonna be glorious.
I don't have to fucking prep anything anymore. I can get my Sundays
The
back.
long play.
I can get my Saturdays back.
Oh god! The Kraken!
Oh no, the creek.
He's like, I built this encounter around having 7 of them, but I'm not gonna redo it.
I'm not
Like,
doing
yeah,
that.
We'll
It's so
figure it
easy.
out.
What are you talking about? You just delete like 3 dudes from each enemy type and then you're good. That's perfectly balanced. That's how it works. But thank you all so much for being part of this. I hope to see you again. Thank you all so much for the follows. There are so many. Pumpkin Invites, thank you for following. Daydath D2, thank you for following. Bad Alloy, I like you. Thank you for following. Hasselhoff4, thank you for following. Pump SPQ, thank you for following. King Flawless, you are indeed flawless. King Krungus 81, hope you guys don't go to war, thank you for following. DRT Trackin 171, thank you for following. Ioza 4X, Axel Baxel, that's a good name, I like that. The Next Gen Hero, I like that too. Thank you for following. Pokemon Dude Alex, thank you for following. Sugar in AQ2, thank you for following. Mr. Dr. Chesit. Is that like a chest? No, Dr. Cheez-It. Thank you for following. Jacob 2001.
Cheez-It!
Thank you for following. Blood 3. I love how edgy it is. Thank you for following. Blade. Edge of Darkness, thank you for following. Zach Stoll, thank you for following. Amir for Real 1U, thank you for following. And Illegal Doorknob is a little concerning, but
Not
thank
the
you for
illegal
following.
doorknob.
Thank you all so much for following and for being a part of this. I hope to see you again this upcoming Sunday for more of the Expanse, along with this Tuesday for Kingdoms of the South and this Thursday for Song of Rapture. We got 3 games of D&D. Be sure to be there. 7:30 Eastern for Tuesday and Thursday. 5 o'clock for the Expanse. And in case you work late or you have like a weird shift or you're international and you're not sure if you can stay awake to catch the show live, do I have the product for you? We are sponsored by Art Sand Coffee, the wonderful coffee company who makes wonderful small batch flavored coffee like the one I'm holding right here in front of you. Bada bing, bada boom. And it's absolutely delicious, and I recommend you try it. You can try it out with a cool discount code. Boom,
Yeah.
Lion 10. You can use that there. You'll help support the channel. You'll get yourself some great tasting, great smelling coffee. It's so good. I cannot stress how good the coffee literally actually is. And you'll help support the channel, which goes right back into the games that you're watching, getting us tokens and art and in my case, music. So it helps out immensely, and I appreciate it. And give them, check them out, get some coffee. It's great as a gift as well. They have some cool gift packs and all that good stuff. So again, it's Lion10 at artsandcoffee.com. Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you, Artsand, for sponsoring Lionhead Gaming. And as always, may your dice roll 20s, and you always make your saves.
Peace.
Toodles!
Bye bye.
This time you're in a large city. This isn't some like trader.
Oh, I didn't roll with persuasion. 11. Fine, getting with 11. Well, I rolled an 8 and my persuasion was 3.
Start pressing the buttons, I guess. Roll a d6 and find more greater. The d4 is still -1. The d6 is just a straight d6. As far as the prices go, Alright, so starting off with only d6 plus 1, that's how many 60 gold apiece for the standard human questions. Did not find any greater. It is above the normal asking. Gotcha. Theo, you're the next to actually roll a number. Where's your 4th? Okay, so you find 5 standard and 3 greater. First, we're going to roll for the standard. Roll me a 6 plus 1, basically. Well, your health potions are fucking cheap. They are a total of 20 gold apiece. Sure, that's 100 gold. For the graders, if you
What?